Everyone, I'm Bishi, and tonight we are playing more, not Infinite Wealth, Great Ace Attorney Chronicles Resolve. We are going to be starting a new case tonight, at last. I finally finished case 2 last week. Last time. Last time I streamed this game, I finally finished case 2 after months of hiatus. And so now we're finally going to be starting case 3. I don't know what it's about yet. We'll just have to hop in and see. But speaking of merch, I do have something cool to show off to y'all. I haven't posted pictures about it yet or anything. I keep forgetting. But I actually received something from Capcom. I got this super cool fan art print. The artist is up here. Because I won a giveaway that Capcom was doing for Capcom creators. If you made content for Apollo Justice or for Ghost Trick, you were able to enter like a sweepstakes to win a print. And it's like a canvas thing and everything. It's like full canvas. See? I can hang it up and everything. It's super cool. So I don't know where to put this. But I have to find a place for it. Probably in here somewhere. I've been thinking about, like, redecorating some parts of the walls. Like, I have these soundproof pads here. I don't really feel like I need them that much. Or maybe I could remove one and put a print there. I don't know. I've been kind of wanting to redecorate in here, but... Anyway, super cool, and I wanted to show y'all since we're playing the Capcom game today. We're not playing Apollo Justice, but we are playing Ace Attorney. So yeah. I streamed Apollo Justice around the time that they were doing the giveaway, so I posted a link of my video, entered the competition, and I won. I think a few other people won as well. So I wasn't the only winner. There were several winners, which I love when giveaways do that. I love when they do that with the giveaways, because, like, I always get sad when there's only one winner, because it's usually not me. You know what I mean? And also, I would feel bad if I was the only one that won this. So there were several people. I gotta post about it, though. I gotta post it on Twitter and stuff. Show it off, so. The division covering the fan art with the poster. Oh my god. No. No. I've been so busy trying to catch up on all these goddamn game announcements. I'm still not caught up. There was like 11 different showcases, and I've been working my way through all of them. I don't usually do this, but I don't know. I just feel like I've already gotten through most of them, so I'm like, I might as well just watch them all. But I finally got to see the Life is Strange trailer. I saw the Fable trailer. I saw... What else? I think those were like the big things that I mean, I wrote down a lot of stuff. I'm not gonna list everything. What are some of the highlights? I saw the new stuff for Fallout 76. Apparently you can play as a ghoul. I thought that was pretty cool. I don't even play Fallout 76, but I like Fallout, so I thought that was interesting. I saw the Snake Eater trailer. I did see the Dragon Age trailer, which I've never played Dragon Age. I've always thought about it. I've been told I would probably like it. But I don't know if I would want to jump in with like the newest one they're coming out with. Have you played Mass Effect? They're like that. Yeah. I pretty much know how it goes. I think I've watched like videos of people playing it. Probably not a full playthrough. I've watched a lot of clips from the game where the Iron Bull is. Just because I know he's very popular. So that's the Dragon Age I probably know the best. I don't know which one that is. So I know what the games are like. And then, of course, I've also seen a lot of clips from Mass Effect. You know, I know that you can basically romance people. Not basically. You can romance characters in both of those games. I keep seeing a collection for Mass Effect going on sale for like $5 and thinking about it and then not doing it because I'm like, when am I going to play that? When am I going to play this? Because I would probably stream it. There's just too many games. I don't know. Let's play some Ace Attorney. Let's do it. Alright, y'all. Let's switch gears here. We are playing some Ace Attorney Chronicles. We are starting episode 3 of the second Chronicles game, titled Resolve. Make it so complicated. Great Ace Attorney 2. The sequel. This one's called The Return of the Great Departed Soul. Let's do it. Let's McFrickin' do it. I'm like, why am I over here?
The grand end of the century great exhibition of London. Surely there is not a soul who has failed to hear of it. Wondrous new works of culture and industry from every corner of the globe had converged on Hyde Park, welcoming over 50 million visitors. The last great hurrah of this century. Astonished and delighted people of all nations, and ended on a note of resounding success. But as regards to the terrible catastrophe that occurred during the festivities, very few are aware my friend Mr. Herlock Sholmes had a hand in unraveling the matter. For from the shadows, it was he who earnestly unearthed the facts of the case.
That's not what Herlock Sholmes looks like.
And like the centerpiece of the great exhibition, which rose high into the skies of Hyde Park, Sholmes's brilliant deductions, as clear and lofty as the Crystal Tower itself, brought the truth to light.
Crystal Tower. A terrible catastrophe? That's the worst kind.
We're here at the showground of the Great Exhibition, which is absolutely packed with people.
Absolutely packed with people. Faker, there's no wet dog energy there? That's the kind of energy that Herlock Sholmes has? What? Get that dog a towel. We're here at the showground of the Great Exhibition, which is absolutely packed with people.
The weather is unusually fine, and we're about to witness a most extraordinary scientific experiment.
Experiment. His hair.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 20th century will see steam engines and electrical power dominate the world. Horse-drawn carts will give way to the motor car. Ships will sprout wings and take to the skies. And today, we showcase even more advanced technology. A glimpse into the future. A world first. A demonstration of my super high voltage instantaneous kinesis machine! A man will literally be disassembled by a pulse of high voltage electricity and beamed to another location.
Uh-oh.
Whereupon his body will be reassembled by a series of complex calculations exactly as it was before.
I don't think this is gonna go too good. This is not gonna go well. Any last words, sir?
In but a few moments from now,
this man will die.
Complete an incredible journey through the air. To arrive an instant later on the Crystal Tower behind you!
The Crystal Tower!
This one, yes, yes, yes!
This one!
Yes, yes!
Good luck, sir, in the next life. He already looks like he's in pain.
Please! Oh, that's not what I wanted!
Oh, he died. He died! He looked like he was getting electrocuted! That's terrible. 22nd October, 9:36 a.m. Sholmes is sweet. Oh, Lord. Yeah, I was thinking that. This is a reference to the World Fair Technology Exhibition. It was held that long until 95 when it was ended. It used to be where companies would show new technologies. Yeah, I figured that's what it was based on. Huh. I didn't know it went that long, though. An incredible journey through the air to heaven! No, I've seen The Prestige. I know how this works. What's the plot twist? Top hat is okay, but lab coat died? I know, right? There's gotta be something weird going on.
Bruno! Bruno, are you listening?
Oh, sorry. What was that, Iris?
What's the matter with you? You've been miles away all morning. Didn't you like what I cooked for breakfast?
No, that's not it at all. I didn't like it one bit. What were we talking about again?
Today's paper. It's full of news about the great exhibition again.
Ah, yes. The Great Exhibition. I'd like to go sometime.
You're really not your usual self today. You seem very down. Don't you agree, Hurley?
Did you say something, Iris?
Oh gosh, you're even more down.
He's the most down you can be. But he's not down to clown. Just a little closer. Thank you for the lurk, PC Man. Ah! When did you arrive, Mr. Naruhodo? I put the mic closer, and then Herlock immediately shrieks. What am I supposed to do? I've been here for about half an hour already. We had breakfast together. What? Why didn't you mention it before? I, thought you might have known I was here. You know, because breakfast. Iris is quite right. You're clearly lacking in vim. So much so that I didn't notice your presence. Thanks. Of course, I could deduce the reason perfectly well with some simple observations. What? Let's see. Yes, for example, your tousled hair this morning with all its unruly spikes. Clearly, it can be deduced, therefore, that... let me stop you there, Mr. Sholmes, because I think I can see where this is going. My hair always looks like this. It always has. Ever since we first met, in fact. Oh, really? How interesting. It just doesn't look like a haircut as such, I suppose. Thanks again. It crossed my mind recently that it's been 6 months now.
6 months?
Since I was forbidden from working in court. Oh, I forgot about that. So, I've been wondering how much longer I'm going to be banned.
Oh, well, that would explain why you seem rather glum. Don't you agree, Hurley?
Did you say something, Iris? Ah, back to moping. Such a fascinating creature. Let's put him in a terrarium and feed him things. What's the matter with Mr. Sholmes today? He seems even more down in the dumps than me.
I know. Oh, I know. And the great exhibition is opened. You would think he'd be excited. Oh, why don't we all go to see it together?
I want to. Of course I do. But I can't. Not for the time being. Why not? Why not? Why not? Because I'm a great detective after all. So you're embroiled in some tricky case that you can't be distracted from? Is that it?
I don't remember hearing that you're working on a case, Hurley.
I suppose I should try to find out what's going on. Let's ask him some questions. He's too busy doing wet dog things. Where is this coming from? Where is this coming from? Why is he a wet dog? He smells musky? But first, show him your armband. Okay, fine. fine. It's useless right now anyway. We can't even be a lawyer. Oh, Mr. Sholmes, about this. Shh. Not another word. Yes, I see. This would be a collar for a breed of miniature canine with a particularly long neck, and for winter use. Actually, it's the armband I always wear that symbolizes my role as a defense lawyer. Precisely, which leads to but one conclusion. Your arm is, in fact, the particularly long neck of a miniature canine. He did talk about dogs. He is talking about dogs, that's true. I'm starting to wish I'd never shown him this now. Man's barking mad. I don't know what that sound was I was making. Hey Violet, welcome in. Oh Lord. In the voice of David Attenborough. Here we see the Chelocucus, a species of detective soon to be extinct. A very peculiar specimen. There's my David Attenborough. Oh, sorry. There was a cutscene earlier, so I had the sound effects off. They're back on. They are back on and ready to go. Stink it up. Stink it up in here. Feel free. Okay, well. That it was indeed very stinky. Stinkiest you could be. Ever. Ever. You still haven't done the stinks. Still haven't done it. That's the only thing. If two people try to do a command at the same time, only one's gonna work. Okay, we're gonna ask him some questions. I have some questions for you. Events 6 months ago. Get a refresher. Half a year ago now. I took on the defense of a young girl in a trial heard at the Old Bailey. What at first seemed like a simple case of murder that took place at a London pawnbrokery turned out to be one part of a much more far-reaching plot that involved the British government. During the course of the trial, it was found that I made an unavoidable, yet at the same time unforgivable mistake. Words fail me. This situation is utterly deplorable. Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, my lord. I will decide upon your fate following the conclusion of this trial. Of course, my lord. That was so long ago. I mean, that was literally last year. In the end, I had my right to represent people in court revoked. I was told I had to spend my time in research and study, so that's what I've been doing. You have, haven't you, Ruuuvo? Reading all those big fat tomes about British law up in your room, and the notes about Sholmes' old cases. Brewing Iris's special blends of tea, fetching my daily bread for me. You've become something of a manservant around here. Start on the silverware next, Master Naruhodo. Well, I'm thinking of going to ask the powers that be to reconsider. Specifically Lord Strongheart at the British Supreme Court on Whitehall.
Lord Strongheart?
Ah, the delightful Lord Chief Justice. Not my favorite fellow. He's not mine either, but he's the man I have to talk to. He's the only one who can grant permission for me to start working in the courts again. I came to Britain to become the best lawyer I could, and I can't do that just sitting around here. That's true. Very true. Crazy how British lawyers still have to wear those ugly white wigs in real life. I know. I only learned about that in like the last few years. I did not know that until pretty recently.
Oh,
there you go.
This guy stinks!
I appreciate you waiting to do that until we got back to the menu. I do appreciate that. I always appreciate when people wait for like a good moment. And now it's stinky in here. Just like how y'all wanted. At last the stinks. At last the stinks have been done. But yeah, apparently lawyers in Britain wear the powder white wig still. Today. Apparently. Apparently. I can't believe it. I can't believe it, but I do. If any country was gonna do that, it would be Britain. Canada too? No way. No way. That's a lie. What is the truth? What is the truth? Do I look it up? Canadian lawyers do not wear them. I'm Canadian, I would know. Well, now I just want to look at pictures of the British lawyers wearing the wig, so. I Google, why do British lawyers still wear white wigs? It brings a sense of formality and solemnity to proceedings. By wearing a gown and wig, a barrister represents the rich history of common law and the supremacy of the law over the proceedings. Wearing a wig allows a visual separation between the law and those before it. If I walked into a courtroom and they were wearing white wigs, I would burst out laughing. Are you kidding me? Like a person is on trial for murder, and the lawyers are all wearing white powder wigs. That's what happens over there. And you know what? I always say this caveat. Whenever I make fun of, like, Britain, whenever I make fun of England, whatever, the UK, we do a lot of weird stuff too, okay? We do. I'm not saying we don't. But that particularly is very weird. It's silly, weird, and silly. Yes. Welcome in, Luna. I think if I saw anyone unironically wearing one of those, I'd be terrified. You'd be scared. What time period am I in? Okay, apparently they're not obligated to wear them, but a lot still wear it voluntarily. That's even funnier! That's even funnier! They don't have to, but they're like, no, I like it. I like it a lot. Of course I'm gonna keep wearing it. I think I look rather smart. They like a little dress up. They like to do a little dress up. It's their little lawyer cosplay. Okay. Okay. We like to have fun over there. Yeah. It makes sense to think that Canada does it, because technically we are in the Commonwealth. Okay. But they don't. I wonder how many people studied law just so they could wear those wigs, unironically. How else will they know I'm a judge? It's not like the gavel and the gown and the fact that I'm wearing, or the fact that I'm sitting up here behind this desk. They won't know it just from that. I wear it when I go out shopping. Many law practitioners in the UK still take pride in wearing them. That's an interesting factoid. That's interesting. All right. I just imagined, like, if, like, a defendant walked in wearing it, too. They'd probably be thrown out, you know? They're like, I just wanted to match. I saw everyone wearing one. I thought I was supposed to. I've never been in a courtroom before. Okay, great exhibition. The whole of London has been swept up in this great exhibition, hasn't it? The most advanced science, the most modern technology, the finest works of art and feats of engineering. For the next 6 months, our capital will be showcasing these things, and the world will be watching.
Oh, do you know what I'd like to do? I'd like to look down on London from one of those lovely balloons.
Her eyes are sparkling. Look down on? Do you mean those things fly?
Yes, of course. They fly high in the sky and don't even need wings to do it. All you need is hot air.
But how? How does hot air have anything to do with flying? It makes no sense. I can't understand it at all.
That's true of a lot of new scientific discoveries. Most people can't understand them at first. But in 100 years' time, all these things will just be common knowledge.
I suppose they might be.
Mind you, some of the science being demonstrated seems very questionable. Something went wrong on the open experimentation stage yesterday, apparently. There was a huge explosion. Still, I wish I'd seen it, though. I'd love to see how bad some of these scam experiments really are.
Says the innocent 10-year-old girl. See here. Every page of this paper carries some article or other about the Great Exhibition. The brighter things shine, the darker the shadows that are cast behind them. Personally, I find myself drawn to the darkness, to the impenetrable. That is my proper atmosphere. I'm feeling a little edgy today. Great Exhibition newspaper has been entered into the court record. A newspaper containing various articles about the world-leading science and technology on show at the Great Exhibition being held in London.
Oh, he's in his brooding era.
Oh. I've had an interest in scams and frauds since probably that age. Just one of those things. Shadows cast behind. Is that a metaphorical way of referring to the back page of the paper? Oh, maybe we want to look at it.
Let's examine.
There's the guy. Every article on the front page is news about the Great Exhibition. Public experiments to demonstrate brand new scientific ideas, cultural exhibits from around the globe. It's also positive and hopeful about the coming century. We must all go to see it properly before too long. Okay, that's it for the front. Oh! The Reaper attacked! Lord Van Zeeks! So many glowing reports about the Great Exhibition and everything that's going on there. Other than this rather gloomy-looking one, that is. Wait, what?
What's the matter, Ruuuvo?
Enhance! The Reaper attacked. That's Lord Van Zeeks. This must be what Mr. Sholmes was talking about. Does he know any more, I wonder? Oh, crap! Not our favorite hot vampire! No! I hope he's okay. And a lost cat! Oh no! Truly, the back is full of darkness. The Reaper attacked. I guess let's say gloomy mood instead. Are you investigating a particularly tricky case at the moment, Mr. Sholmes? You could say that, I suppose. Nothing more to add. It's not like you. What sort of case is it? Shh! Quiet, Mr. Naruhodo. We must not discuss it here. You never know who might be listening.
You're acting very strangely, Hurley.
What do you mean, Iris?
Well, usually, the more mysterious and complicated a case is, the better Hurley's mood.
Ah.
Is it really a case that's bothering you?
Iris, please. You mustn't exercise your astute powers of observation and deduction on me without invitation. Remember what I always say. Put yourself in the shoes of the individual about whom you're making deductions. You say that, do you? You, Mr. Sholmes? Never mind. Once I've had a cup of tea, I must make my way at once to the crime scene. Sighs in British. That was a deep sigh. Alright. Ask him this.
Our silly little vampire.
Our silly little, wino vampire. He does like his wine, doesn't he? It says in the paper that Lord Van Zeeks was attacked. That's terrible. You know the legend of the Reaper of the Bailey, of course, don't you? Only too well, in fact. Yes. Prosecutor Beric Van Zeeks. I They say that if the Reaper is the prosecutor in a case, there's no salvation for whoever's in the dock. Why is he a vampire, though? Is there a reason for it? I mean, he's not actually a vampire. He just, like, gives huge vampire vibes. Huge vampire vibes. I mean, he's constantly drinking wine. Look at his outfit. He's pale. And he has a menacing aura. So we just call him a vampire. Like, everyone collectively calls him a vampire. But he isn't real. Oh, okay. No, I know. I was just wondering if there was a reasoning behind the obvious Castlevania inspiration. Oh, okay. So, like, why the creators of the game made him like this. I don't know, but I love it. I don't know why it happened, but I do enjoy the results. They say that if the Reaper is the prosecutor in a case, there's no salvation for whoever's in the dock. Even if the defendant is found not guilty. Once the Reaper has someone in his sights, one way or another, that person's time left on this earth will be short. And yeah, I guess, like, the design is probably not exactly meant to be a vampire, but is definitely meant to be menacing, intimidating. And so it just kind of lends itself to, oh, he kind of is like a vampire. He even has, like, the big cape, you know? But yeah, he very much looks like a Castlevania character, for sure. Oh, I confused the Canadian courts with Australian courts somehow. They still wear wigs on certain occasions in certain places. Okay, so it's Australia. That makes sense. Yeah, the Commonwealth. There you go. No, I think he really is supposed to look like a vampire? Okay. I mean, he really does look like a vampire. Honestly, I have no idea why he looks like a vampire, so I'm gonna say it's Edgeworth's fault somehow because that's the first character I thought of. Let's just blame him for everything. London's finest rogues always find ways around the law. They'll stop at nothing to secure an acquittal at trial. Falsifying evidence, paying sham witnesses, threatening jurors, bribing judges. But even such devious tactics as these cannot save them from the hand of the Reaper. As you've experienced yourself, haven't you, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, I've seen the Reaper's retribution at work. Many of these criminal rogues are reckless and quite unafraid to die. If a leader among their fraternity is seen to have been taken by the Reaper, retaliation like this does occur. Really, the capital has a never-ending supply of such scoundrels. So, do you mean Lord Van Zieks has been attacked like this before? This isn't the first time? He's quite an accomplished combatant, you know. He doesn't take these attacks lying down. Although, it seems that his assailants were armed with guns this time. Oh my goodness. Is he alright then? Is Lord Van Zieks hurt? My dear fellow, how on earth would I know? I don't know, because you're freaking Sherlock Holmes? Maybe?
Well, in the article here it says, as to what of Lord Van Zieks and his condition, all will be revealed in tomorrow's morning edition.
That's cruel. A cliffhanger for the well-being of a person? Ah, I see. Well, we shall have to be patient then. No. I can't wait until tomorrow. In that case, she'll have to inquire with somebody in the know. But who? Lord Strongheart, perhaps? Oh. He's ready. Well, I must be leaving now. Yes, understood. See you later, Mr. Sholmes. Ha! You really are a shameless liar sometimes, my dear fellow. What? You seek to put me off my guard and follow me, don't you? Well, you would be wasting your time. The thought hadn't crossed my mind, but now I am wondering where you're going. Ah! Ha 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 ha! Well then, see you later, indeed. With the wine glass and the cape and the cravat and everything. The menacing look in his eye. Being hot. Yeah. Look, guys, his name is Van Zieks. How can you not look like that with that name? No, I get it. Yeah, is Van Zeeks a Dutch name? I don't even know. Okay, I was thinking of something else. I was thinking about Apollo Justice. I was like, someone was saying someone should have a German accent. That was from Apollo Justice. And even then, he isn't supposed to have a German accent anyways. Anyway. Apparently, the capitalization of his name is Dutch. I don't even know what a Dutch accent would sound like. I know I've heard it before. I'd have to look it up. And not that I could replicate it at all. Now that I have procured my drip, I must abscond. Listen to him. He's still laughing on his way out of the door. Oh! What is that? She's got her own little outfit too?
Alright then, Ruuuvo. Let's get going.
Oh, Iris, what are you wearing?
I've got change to go to the great exhibition. You're going to take me.
What? But I was just about to go to the Supreme Court.
Oh, well, that sounds fun too. You're gonna take me there then.
You're gonna take me there, whether you like it or not. Jesus, Iris, put that away. Don't point that at us. All right, fine. Just lower that weapon, would you?
Of course. And after the Supreme Court, then we'll go to see the great exhibition. Okay, fine.
Okay, we're going to Lord Chief Justice's office. She had Mickey Mouse ears 60 years before it was cool. What have you got there, Iris?
A gun! No!
October. British Supreme Court. Lord Chief Justice. This office. It's been about 6 months now since I was last here. But some things never change. Like the sense of foreboding I always seem to feel in this place. Ah! Oh my god. Doesn't seem to be bothering Iris at all, though. She's happily reading over there.
Oh, I love this place. I always find so many interesting books here.
Of course. I was forgetting that you've been here before. The time we came here 6 months ago. When Susato-san was given the news that she was to return to Japan. Ah, I understand you wish to speak with me. There he is. Another hottie. Another character that people thirst for, of course. Not me, but I get it. I do get it. Hey, Dreamer, welcome in. Isn't Iris just too cute? I know, that outfit's so cute. I love the purple. She's got the little hair bun covers. My gosh. She really does a great kid voice. Not gonna lie, but she would make a great voice actor. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. When I was little, I dreamed about doing that, but I don't know. I gotta get a friend who makes games to put me in their game or something. Please. even just doing it like one time in my whole life, I would be completely fine with that. That would be so cool. Be able to be a voice in a game. I love that. Or cartoon, whatever. I mean, I don't care. Anything. I thirst only for Lord Van Zeeks. I definitely get that. I think I thirst a little too. I think so. I used to want to be a voice actor too. It'd be so cool. Yeah. I feel like voice acting is just one of those things that I will always think is super, super cool. Catching up with chat here. I've been replaying Ace Attorney 1 recently, and honestly, it makes me appreciate how this game's investigations function so much more. I know. I know. It's so much more convenient. God. And that's the thing, like, I mean, even Apollo Justice, at least the first game, I only played the first game, right? Is not as convenient, but it's a little better. The first Ace Attorney is just, it's the worst. It's the worst. You have to go through like every single place, like you're actually literally walking everywhere. Great game, but dear lord, that got old. So I love all of the improvements they did with the Chronicles. Very, very nice. I wasn't here for that. What did you think of the first case? The first case... from which game? Now I'm talking about like 3 different games at this point. Sorry. On his clock BS again. He's always on the clock BS. Their clocks here all the time, everywhere. The first case of this game, so the one where Susato is dressed up as a guy, right? I liked it a lot. I want to see more of that. I want more. We will see. We will see. And yeah, and then case 2, of course, was like the flashback that was supposed to be in the first game. So really, I've barely gotten into this game in general because this is finally like the first full-fledged game that's like in the modern time. Because the Susato case was kind of like the tutorial case, you know? Still amazing though, I did like it a lot. Last case and SL9 in the first game are 2 amazing cases. Oh no, like, do not get me wrong. I loved the original Ace Attorney trilogy. I mean, I wouldn't be playing this and Apollo Justice if I didn't enjoy it. You know what I mean? I love Ace Attorney. I love Phoenix. I love Edgeworth. I love Maya. And Pearl. I don't want to leave out the baby. No, I love the characters. And that's really what I care about. But the controls were were frustrating, that's all. But no, I loved it. And then Apollo Justice, I only played the first game in the trilogy. I still have to play 2 and 3. I'm going to be doing that once I finish Chronicles, because Chronicles has been on hiatus for a long time. So I'm finally back to it, trying to finish it. So, which we're in the second game, so we're almost there. So much chat. Have everyone make like a 5-second animation. You can say something. Yeah, I'll just say one word. And then I would have done it. Speaking of VA, or speaking of voice acting, apparently one time a bajillion years ago at an anime con, my friend played volleyball with the voice of Roy Mustang. Amazing. Wow. Just told you about that today. Wow. I have a few stories about VAs, but I definitely didn't, like, you know, spend time with them and play games or anything. I have met the English voice for Vegeta, and have his signature. I have gotten an autograph from Grey Delisle and met her at an event. Oops. I'm almost done with my story. I didn't meet, but I was at a event where the English voice for Goku was giving like a talk, like a speech, and just like kind of like talking about life, how he got into voice acting, etc. Have I met any other VAs? I think that might be it. But yeah, so I've met a few, but I haven't played volleyball with any. That's for sure. I love wandering around lost for an hour because I didn't investigate one tiny spot, right? Like, oh my god. I still get lost in these games too, but the original trilogy was rough with that. But great story. And it reveals stuff about the tutorial case from the first game. Yes. Yes. The new games just keep innovating and getting better though. Yeah. I wonder if we'll get... Because a lot of the games that have been coming out for Ace Attorney have just been like localization with this game. A remake port for Apollo Justice. I wonder when we'll get, or if we'll ever get a new Ace Attorney game. You know what I mean? Like a brand new one. I don't know. I don't know how Apollo Justice ends, so, you know. Don't give me any hints about that. Like, oh, there couldn't be a new game because everyone died. Like, I highly doubt that, but like, don't tell me. If there's anything like that, don't tell me. But I'm just wondering out loud, oh, I wonder if we'll ever get a new installment. You know? I think eventually there will be, just because it's such a popular franchise. Yeah, people love it a lot, you know? I hope. Right? But I do want investigations. I do want investigations. I would love that. It's been in development for a while. Okay. Okay. The Investigations remaster? Is that what you mean? Oh, I would love that. I love Edgeworth. I want to play those games. I don't even really watch Dragon Ball, but I would freak out if I met Vegeta, right? That was probably the person I was most excited about. And it was really funny because it was like a panel, and they had a part of the panel where people could volunteer and voice act a line, I think from Bulma, and you could dub over it live. Like, you're just like standing at the front and talking in the microphone, and they like make it muted so that you're doing the voice. And my friend did it. Me and Ruuvo's friend went up and voiced Bulma, and she actually did really good. So that was really cool. Yeah. I forgot about that until just now. So it was really fun. It was really fun seeing Vegeta live in person. Oh, you met Robbie Damon. Nice. One of the highlights of my life. He voiced Zhao from 7. Yeah, in the English dub. When I told him how much I love the the way he said Kasuga-kun so sexily, he would say it every other moment just to make just to make you excited. Yeah. Oh, that's great. Oh my god. I love when voice actors love their fans. You know what I mean? I love when voice actors are like really cool and do stuff. At the same time, like, you know, voice actors can go through some BS. They can go through some BS. So I get it when they like don't do events and stuff like that, of course. But I always appreciate when VAs are nice to their fans and, you know, in general, just like nice people. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be totally honest. The VA for Goku was not that nice. If I have to be honest. He was kind of like... How do I say it? He basically was like, if you ever thought about being a voice actor, don't do it. Like, he was really, really negative. And he said that he did not like, what was it? A Team 4-Star, the dubbing and stuff. He just said a bunch of stuff. This was a long time ago, though. This was years ago. But, yeah. So, he wasn't that nice. I really liked Vegeta more. And that's funny, because I like Vegeta as a character more than Goku as well. So, yeah. I just went to the event with Goku's VA because, like, you know, it's Goku, you know? But, man, yeah. It wasn't that great, to be honest. Like, it was cool that I got to see him, but... He didn't seem that nice. I think he's one of those VAs that don't really like to engage with people. But, you know, to each their own. Okay, it wasn't official, but everyone knows that it's gonna happen. Okay, so we'll see. We'll see. Oh, 7. And a next Ace Attorney game. Okay, not Investigations. I would think so. Everyone loves Ace Attorney, you know? I've heard a lot of famous people in nerd fandoms have big egos and act like wieners because they're used to being worshipped. Ooh. Yeah, that's the thing. That's why I said I really appreciate it when they're, like, down to earth and nice, you know? I have a signed autograph framed above my computer. That's so sweet. My autographs are all over the place because, like, some of them were on paper, some of them were on, I think we have autographs on, like, a DS case somewhere. You know what I mean? So I don't have them with me at the second. I also have an autograph from Bruce Willis. I didn't meet him, though. Someone else got the autograph for me. So I have that, too. I forgot about it. Okay, anyway, I gotta play the game a little bit. Oh, Lord Strongheart. I trust you've been keeping well? Let's see. Since you arrived and requested an audience, it's been 4 hours, 32 minutes, and 26 seconds. I've kept you waiting a while. My apologies. Oh no, not at all. I like nothing more than standing around staring into space. That's exactly what he's been doing for the past 10 minutes while I've been talking to my chat. Good to know. Good to know that doesn't appear to bother him at all. Male Strongheart, Lord Chief Justice of London. He's the man who allowed me to start practicing as a defense lawyer when I arrived in Britain as a student. You need only savor the air for a moment in this grand office to understand his preeminent status. As you will be aware, the Great Exhibition of London is now underway at last. We're extremely busy as a result. policing the grounds, guarding the new technologies, dealing with petty crime. And furthermore, as of next month, we shall open the International Forensic Science Symposium. Oh, I've not heard about that. Investigating authorities from 40 countries around the globe will be taking part, including from your own land. Forensic science is the future. The world must embrace it. As we're the hosting nation, I have much to do. And it is my highest priority. If others must wait for my attention as a result, so be it. Well, it's nice to know where I stand. As a nothing nobody. So, you wish to consult with me? Of course, I can very well imagine what this is about. Thank you for agreeing to this meeting, my lord. I want to be allowed to start working as a defense lawyer again in court. That's what brought me here today. Actually, something else playing on my mind, as it happens.
Bruno, just take a deep breath and come out with it.
Okay. Now, we talk. I could present this too. Just, you know, gotta refresh everyone's memory that I have this armband, and that means I'm a lawyer. Even if I can't do lawyer stuff right now, I still am a lawyer. Technically. I also really love the music in Chronicles. It's great. A lot of factors that prevented a new game from coming out sooner is the death of the 3DS, the head writer of the recent games leaving, and just the fact that this franchise was never a big moneymaker. They released the remasters for a reason, right? I feel like the fact that they released Apollo Justice tells you that they are probably working on something else, I would hope. Either remaster of Investigations, which I would love that. I would love to play that. Or a new installment. I got so excited when they announced the Apollo Justice stuff. So excited. Fandom culture is such an experience. It really is. It really is. I've been in the fandom culture like my whole life. Pretty much. That's sick though. Bruce Willis has been in some cool movies. Yeah, I like Bruce Willis as an actor. I grew up watching a lot of his movies, so... let them cook, yeah. We'll let them cook. I like nothing more than standing around staring into space. Screen suddenly cuts to Ruuuvo, staring directly at the player, slowly zooming in. I don't have a slow zoom. I don't have a slow zoom, that's the only problem. I should get one, though. I should get one of those sometime. He looks like if Kiryu and Ryuji fused together and became a prosecutor. Or like attorney. He's like a big, important guy. Big, important guy. What? Violet, what? Are you talking about me? Is that not a... I have not heard that before. First of all, how dare you? Okay, I gotta look it up now. I don't know what you're talking about. It's just a meme? Okay. I've never seen that. Sometimes you just gotta get white woman jump scared. What is... Is this a FNAF thing? I thought you were calling me a white woman. I mean, you can understand why I was confused. What? I was like... Oh my god. I have not heard that. Oh my god. Yeah, I saw it. I saw it. It's Vanessa, right? From FNAF. I just call it white woman Josuke every time I get Josuke. Okay. Oh my god. I was gonna say, but she's neither of those things. I know. I'm like, well, wait. I'm not a woman. And oh my god. Violet, I'm the white woman. Oh, let me see if I can find the GIF though. I only saw like pictures. GIF. There it is. Yeah. Oh my god. I have never seen that, but I remember that happening in the game. I watched a playthrough of that game. I can't believe they thought that would be scary. I never knew it was a meme. That is so funny. Oh my god. Least scary jump scare. Oh my god. Yeah, white woman jump scare is more of a feeling than anything. Okay. I didn't know. I thought you were just calling me that. I was like, Jesus. Oh my god. Yeah, thank you for teaching me something new. We can define whiteness as the ability to jump scare. Oh my god. Non-binary gamer jump scare. Yeah, there you go. That's me! Oh, that is so funny. Okay, video games. How much am I really gonna do today? I feel like I'm really not gonna play much today. This is just the make Bishi laugh for 4 hours. Okay. Oh my god. By the way, Lord Strongheart, about this. A symbol of a defense lawyer in the Japanese judiciary. Oh, I didn't expect you would know that. We never accept foreign students before first researching the legal systems of their home countries. But such trinkets are merely for show. The only true measure of your worth is your performance in court. Yes, right. I forgot that was about the armband. I thought I was asking him a question. Anyway, permission to work. I actually came here today to ask for your permission. Go on. 6 months ago, my right to work in court as a lawyer was revoked. I was told to spend my time studying. Obviously, I'm very sorry for what happened. The thing is, look at him, he does not care. It made me understand what it really means to defend somebody under the rules of a foreign justice system. And I desperately want to have another go. Please, permit me to enter the courtroom again. Mr. Naruhodo. Yes? Here it comes. I'm sure you haven't forgotten your position here, have you? At best, you are a substitute for your compatriot. This was never your intended role. Well, that's true. The Japanese government actually sent my best friend on this study tour, not me. It should have been Kazuma. He was so determined to bring change to our own justice system at home. That was his calling. Kazuma! If that tragic accident hadn't happened, I wouldn't be here in this office now. Mr. Asogi was my best friend, you see. That's why I can't leave it unfinished. I have to fulfill his calling for him. His calling, you say? Has it never occurred to you that perhaps you know nothing of his true calling? Sorry? The mission with which that young law student was charged. What do you suppose it really was? What do you mean? Mission? It's not making any sense. Never mind. I've read all the reports you've submitted over the past 6 months. It's clear to me that you regret your actions and have been studiously obeying your revised instructions. Do you mean? As of this moment, I reinstate your license to practice law here in Great Britain. Imagine if you just said no and that's the end of the game. No, you can't be a lawyer anymore. Roll credits. I did see the birds. That's the good thing about coming to this place, is that we get to see little birds outside. Don't tell him that, Strongheart. You'll give the boy performance anxiety. God. He caused birds. He did. As of this moment, I reinstate your license to practice law here in Great Britain. Thank you. Thank you so much.
That's wonderful news, Ruuuvo.
In fact, I believe I have the perfect case to mark your comeback. A curious affair. You'll consider it, I hope.
Of course. Please, tell me more.
Oh, okay. You described it as a curious affair? Yes, that's right. I believe it was reported in the press. Are you aware that there was a serious accident at the Great Exhibition yesterday? Oh, no.
Yes, I read about it. A professor from Germany tried to carry out a crazy experiment. Let me see. How was it described? Super high voltage instantaneous kinesis, I think.
Instantaneous kinesis? As in moving things with a click of the fingers?
That's right. It's just what my herbal blends need. A dash of devil may care.
Dash of devil may cry. Whatever this serious accident was exactly, it's clearly captured Iris's imagination. It's an unfortunate business. A large explosion engulfed the public experimentation stage and a man lost his life. A certain Mr. Odie Asman. Odie Asman. Odie Asman. Asman? An investor and a well-known figure in society. Odious man. Odious man. Ow. Stinky! Another stinky. Large explosion.
A man died?
The man responsible for the experiment was Professor Albert... There you go. The man responsible for the experiment was Professor Albert Harebrayne. Ah, harebrained. Okay, I get that one. He was detained immediately after the incident and is due to appear in court tomorrow on the charge of murder. What? Murder? If you intend to take on his defense, you should hurry to meet with him at the prison. There is very little time left for you to carry out any kind of investigation. Great exhibition, scientific experiment gone wrong, and murder? I feel out of my depth before I've even started. Still.
We should go to the prison straight away then, and try to meet with this German professor. Don't you think?
Definitely. Ah, yes. One more thing about the case. There's a connection with our mutual acquaintance, the Reaper. Oh, Lord Van Zeeks? How? Okay, we've got more to ask. Odious is actually, this guy sucks, let's go home. Odious is just repulsive. Okay. I could only think of stinky. Oh. Too bad I've already activated the stinky. Yeah, he's just stinky now. Oops, all stinky. Forensic Science Symposium. All sorts of conferences have been taking place around the world to coincide with the Great Exhibition. And next month, the largest and most important of them all will take place at last. The International Forensic Science Symposium. It does seem as though criminal investigation needs to embrace scientific methods, doesn't it? Exactly. There goes the birds again.
Ah!
London, a global epicenter of culture, science, and wealth, now has a population exceeding 6 million. Sadly, crime in the capital is growing at a similarly startling rate. So it's imperative that we use the latest scientific methods to investigate and resolve cases as efficiently as possible. Which is what's known as forensic science, isn't it? Exactly. The future of policing.
Ah!
Regrettably, however, Britain is currently dragging its feet when it comes to the adoption of forensic methods. Oh dear, that's alarming. Exactly. It's extremely alarming.
Ah!
If I were Her Majesty's Attorney General, you can be sure, the numbers of crimes committed and resolved in London would be very different to the current figures. So he's not Attorney General. And I can cite 12 solid arguments and 223 individual reasons to support my claim. Sorry? By way of apology for keeping you waiting earlier, I shall detail every one now.
What? Oh, how fascinating.
It all began 15 years ago. I was... Oh, he yapping! he yapping a storm up. And that more or less sums up my feelings on the matter. In the simplest of terms, of course. Who let him cook? Make him stop! Get him out of that kitchen! It's burnt! Essentially, to formally establish a forensic investigation division within Scotland Yard. That is my mission. Oh, right, yes, that's wonderful. I am so tired. Exactly. Wonderful is precisely what it will be. Iris isn't paying attention at all. She's got her nose in another book now.
Oh, is it over? Did you learn anything useful?
I actually drifted off for the most part. He's surprisingly ardent about forensic science. Okay, let's get the hell out of here before he starts yapping again. Alright, we've got the prison now. 22nd October, local prison cell 11. The warden said cell 11. That's this one.
Oh, there's someone curled up in a ball in the back corner. Look. Look how sad they look.
What's his name again? Professor Albert Harebrayne, wasn't it? Excuse me, Professor Harebrayne. What? Well, we technically heard his voice earlier, didn't we, in that cutscene? Who are you? I'm Ryunosuke Naruhodo. I mean, a lawyer? Ah, was it something I said? A lawyer, you say? Would you be here about the experiment? Are you going to defend my hypothesis? Your hypothesis? Sorry, I don't... Yesterday's demonstration! That magnificent demonstration was... It was an out-and-out success! By anyone's calculations! But despite that, no one listens! No lawyer believes in the science! When it's explained, they all leave at high velocity! He's kind of a twink, huh? Y'all say he's kind of cute. I'm like, yeah, he's a twink. He's gonna be executed. Execute this twink! send this twink to the chair! Harebrayne, more like twink brain. We must defend this twink with our lives. Welcome in, Shiny. His eyes, he's a little meow meow. They gave him like little Bishonen eyes, like come on. Mods, obliterate this twink. There we go. Oh my god. Now is probably not a good time to mention that your zeal made my concentration leave for a while too. Fascinating, yes! In Japan, where I come from, it's the symbol of a defense lawyer. Wearing it is very bracing, I find. Your words make some sense to me, but they are entirely illogical. What do you mean? Well, for example, I find this white laboratory coat that I wear for my work very bracing too. However, in my case, there is a perfectly logical reason for that feeling. Oh, really? What is it? I purchased the wrong size by mistake. This one is too small for me. The sleeves especially are extremely bracing. I can barely move my wrists. That's what you call logical, is it? Of course! It's entirely logical! That's science, Mr. Naruhodo! Alright then. Yesterday's demonstration. Thank you for the clip. The character introduction of all time. Yesterday's demonstration. I like his theme. His hair is very bouncy. You mentioned the demonstration yesterday.
The papers have called it a spectacular failure. After all, a man died in the explosion, didn't he?
Yes, you could interpret the results that way if you really wanted to. Well, I suppose in the strictest sense, the experiment was a failure. But at the same time, it was a great success. You've lost me. I saw it with my own eyes, right there in front of me. Mr. Asman was spontaneously disassembled. Until then, everything was going exactly as my calculations had predicted. At that point, he should have been beamed to the Crystal Tower by instantaneous kinesis. However, the machine exploded and Mr. Asman, in fact, perished? Yes, I can't deny that part of the experiment was a failure. So what you're really saying is the large explosion that killed Mr. Asman was an accident, correct?
But the bigwigs had you arrested on suspicion of murder.
Yeah, how is that? Isn't it an accident? I was responsible for a man's death. That is the immutable truth here. And for that, I wish to be punished. At once! Oh, the twink wants to be punished. I'm not surprised. But... murder? Never in a million years! It was an accident! Simply an accident! I see.
Charlie and I were talking this morning, you know. He said the situation would change completely depending on whether it was treated as an accident or murder.
How exactly?
Well, if it really was an accident, then the professor's machine would be kept in protective custody.
On what grounds?
Ah, yes. It's newly established here in Britain.
The Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act. That one passed me by.
But if the case is treated as murder,
then they'll say my machine was the murder weapon, and they'll be able to pour over it as much as they like. Oh, so they want the machine for themselves. I see. Okay, I think I should be taking some notes already. Alright. So, we're gonna call him... You know what? I'm gonna call him Twink. That's gonna be his nickname in my notes. Notes, Twink, exactly! Okay, so Twink accidentally killed man in experiment gone wrong. But he's accused of murder, which might be so, they can take the machine for themselves, right? If it was an accident, or if it was treated as an accident. Then the machine would be in protective custody. Okay. I mean, I think I just need to know that they might want the machine for themselves. Okay. Got it. Whoops. Professor Twink. Okay. They'll say my machine was the murder weapon. They'll be able to pore over it as much as they like. If they examine it in detail, they'll find out how it's made, and then they'll be able to copy my idea. My precious hypothesis will be stolen. The machine must be protected from that at all costs. That's why it's imperative this whole incident is shown to have been an accident in tomorrow's trial. I see now. Okay. Instantaneous kinesis. So in short, there was a terrible accident at the Great Exhibition Showground yesterday. Yes, or rather, no. The devil is in the details. Strictly speaking, there was a terrible explosion. Sounds the same to me. You were demonstrating super high voltage instantaneous kinesis, weren't you? How fascinating. Humans, like all matter, are made up of particles that are held together by electrical bonds. So it must be possible, using a sufficiently high voltage, to break those bonds and beam the particles through space. That's it in a nutshell. That's my idea, you see? That's my amazing hypothesis. Gosh, that's unimaginably high-level science. Oh, but dare to imagine it! Dare to dream of such incredible technology! Just think, one moment I could be here in this cell, and the next I could be at the Great Exhibition again. Well, yes, that would be incredible. And the next, in the mere blink of an eye, I could be at a great Parisian theater, say. The possibilities are endless. The whole of our vast planet would be within reach. So no more hiding in wardrobes on rocky seas for 50 days? Remember that?
I don't really see it like that.
What do you mean, Iris?
Well, if you could travel anywhere in the world instantly, the planet wouldn't really seem vast anymore, would it? I think it would feel like it had shrunk.
My word! That's exactly right! What are the implications? What does this mean?
Oops, that's got Professor Bunnybrain really worried by the look of it.
Bunnybrain! Clearly, this is yet another case of just because you can doesn't mean you should, I suppose. Well, it's better than dinosaurs. Bringing back the dinosaurs was a very bad idea. The point is, my calculations are flawless. The science works. But without a practical demonstration, it means nothing. And that's always the fly in the ointment.
Because practical demonstrations cost a lot of money. Money that young scientists like you don't have.
That's exactly it, yes. He's a twink and he's broke! Why am I not surprised?
Hurley's always complaining about it. He says the government should invest more in science.
Well, anyway, I bumped into him at the right time. I met the well-known investor, Mr. Asman. The victim who died in yesterday's terrible accident, you mean? That's not good. You killed your investor? The full name of the man who died in yesterday's accident was Mr. Odie Asman, wasn't it? What exactly was your relationship with the man? He first visited me in my laboratory in Germany a year ago now. He said he wanted to invest in my immaculate hypothesis. I thanked my lucky stars! I see. So you hadn't really known each other until then.
Money for scientific research. I'm so envious.
As far as I was concerned, the man was an angel. Oh, really? An archangel, even. Or archangel. Archangel. Archangel.
He was prepared to fund a practical demonstration of my hypothesis for presentation at the Great Exhibition. And if that went well, I could expect additional financial support for my research from the British government. Mr. Asman provided me with money and an exceptional engineer. He produced a machine to my precise specifications. But then your dreams were blown to dust in one enormous explosion. As you can see, I owed everything to Mr. Asman. I would never have thought of taking the man's life. Well, he seems genuine enough. I don't think he's lying. Okay. Once again, let me take some notes. So, victim was Twink's investor. I gotta, like, take a screenshot of my notes at some point with all the Twink stuff. Was Twink's investor. Why would he kill him? Twink funding at an all-time low. I love how the entire Jurassic Park series is like dinosaurs have no place in the modern world, and then fanboy scientists are like, oh, I have to clone Velociraptor. You have all the dinosaurs. You gotta bring back some of the most dangerous ones, huh? They just can't. They can't stop themselves. I guess, do I want to show him anything? Oh, yeah. How could this have happened? You must feel awful. As well as a man losing his life, the Crystal Tower was greatly damaged, too. I know what happened. It must have been that. That? The day before the demonstration, I had my usual meal of Frankenfurters at the hotel restaurant. When I paid the bill, they gave me 3 shillings too much in change. But instead of saying anything, I just slipped the coins into my pocket. They're still there now! It's divine retribution for my wrongdoing. That's what this is. For a scientist, he has some very illogical anecdotes. Long and illogical. Okay, so that's it. Well, we have nothing else to talk about, so that must be it. The last thing we said, yeah, I would never have thought of taking his life. Seems genuine. How could this have happened? Where else do we go? Do we go back? How am I stuck already? What am I supposed to do now? We talked to him. I showed him everything I have. Is there something to examine, maybe? I don't think there's anything. No, I can't even examine, actually. So that's it. What the heck? What do I do? Oh, okay. I did have to leave. Okay. Honestly, me, though. Sometimes something bad happens and I'm like, this is my karma for calling another girl ugly in middle school. Oh, no. 22nd October, Naruhodo's legal consultancy. It is just dead quiet in here. Okay. What to do? Oh. Okay. I'm so excited about the prospect of Naruhodo's anything consultancy opening for business again.
That's not what it's called. It's Naruhodo's legal consultancy. I've done a lot of studying in these past 6 months, reading law texts and judicial precedents. I'm sure I'm a better lawyer now. Can't wait to start practicing again.
Nothing's changed in here at all, though, has it? It's as though time has stood still in here since Susie went back to Japan.
Oh. I wanted to keep it ready for Miss Usato, in case she was able to return to Britain at any point. So I've just left everything the way it was.
Oh, I see. Right. And there was me thinking it's because of the way you are, Ruuuvo. You know, never bothering to tidy up, I mean.
Iris. This isn't the time or place to bring up my tidiness, or lack of it. Okay, there's nothing to do. I could show her the newspaper. Iris, about this paper.
Oh yes, it's all about the great exhibition. I'm so excited about it. Once you've done what you need to do, we should all go together and explore.
I don't know. It sounds like it could be quite dangerous. We wouldn't want to get caught in an explosion as we were walking around the showground.
Oh, is that what you think's going to happen, is it?
Okay. Gosh. I could examine things and look around, but I just don't think that's what I need to do. This is just kind of like environment. This all looks about the same anyway. Yo, what am I supposed to do? Am I missing something here? I mean, obviously I am, but you know. I talked to him about all these things. I showed him both of these things. I can't examine. I must have to examine something. It can't be anything else. Unless there's something new with you. I not check. No, that's it. But it's like, what area do I examine? I can examine this, but I don't think it's important. Maybe I need to examine back at home? Something? It could be anything. What the heck? I feel like the next thing that we're supposed to do is to go to the showgrounds. But it's not an option. I guess we're just gonna have to examine stuff. I don't know what else we could do. Well, I talked to the twink. Time to go home and take a nap, right? That's what I thought maybe would happen. I burned through this entire game in like 2 weeks, almost a year ago, so I am of no use. That's okay. No worries. I'll just examine, I guess, until we figure something out. Oh boy. Yeah, what we should do is just a filler thing. That's why I was like, oh, it's just this. Like, it's not the way to progress, so I was disappointed. Man. Okay. Can y'all catch me up? We haven't done too much. Ryu got his license to be a lawyer back, and we are supposed to be representing this scientist that accidentally killed someone in an experiment gone wrong. So we're trying to prove that it was an accident and not attempted murder. Or not actual murder. It would be attempted. He died. Every time I look at that machine, I can't help thinking what a monstrosity it is. What's it called again?
The Great Analytoscope. It can analyze absolutely anything you know.
It does seem incredible, and at the same time, incredibly useless.
But it looks impressive, doesn't it? That makes it very useful.
How does that make it useful?
Because it means you can pawn it for lots of money. Pawnbrokers always make idle remarks like, what an incredible looking machine.
Huh.
So Hurley often takes it to the pawn shop when he's a little short.
Sounds like this thing pulls its weight around here more than I realized, by having its weight pulled around. Alright. Books, papers, scientific implements. These shelves are stuffed to the gunnels. Gunnels? Mrs. Sato wouldn't be able to help herself if she were here. She can't stand mess.
Dizzy might not be able to stand mess, but she wouldn't dare touch those shelves.
Why not?
Everything's in intricate balance. Hurley spends ages on it. If you were to touch even one thing, a whole lot would come tumbling down.
Oh.
Susie noticed it was a very delicate arrangement, right from the outset.
You make it sound like a meeting of great minds. But the truth is, Mr. Sholmes just needs to tidy up. He messy. He's a messy guy. Okay. Would anyone mind looking up what I'm supposed to do right now? Because if we go and look at everything that you can look at in the area, different areas, it's gonna take a minute. So I feel like it'll be faster if someone finds the next thing I'm supposed to do. That would be extremely helpful. I could also look it up. I don't know, Ruuuvo, if you're there, if you could help me out. Or anyone who is willing. I just spoke to him. And now I don't know what to do. Based on Iris's hint text on locations, you could try presenting to Strongheart and or the Twinkie. Okay, so just present the same stuff again? Interesting. Oh, did I present the newspaper to him? I actually don't remember if I did. Yeah, I guess let me try that. That's gonna be faster, huh? Oh, I hadn't done that. I'm so sorry. I didn't present the newspaper to him. I thought I did already. My bad. My bad. Oh, that reminds me. Have you seen this? The reports of the overwhelming success of the Great Exhibition. Of course. No, not that. The story on the back page. What story? The Reaper attacked. Ah, that. You've enjoyed some victories in court against my #1 prosecutor, have you not?
Poor Mr. Reaper. What happened to him? He wasn't killed, was he?
There's no need for concern. Lord Van Zieks would not be so easily dispatched, I assure you. Can you tell us what happened? I'd really love to know. Very well. If it interests you. It does, strangely. Okay, I am so sorry. I was even thinking about, like, oh, we should talk about Van Zieks with him, and then I just completely forgot. I was like, oh, let's go talk to the prisoner, you know? I got very sidetracked. Sometimes you just gotta wander around lost. Yeah, I know. I'm so sorry, though. That was totally unnecessary. I should have known this. Because he's an immortal vampire. Exactly. Exactly. Okay. Fortunately, Lord Van Zieks emerged from the attack unscathed. Street ruffians are no match for that man. He's a very capable fighter. But that's incredible. They were armed with guns. Why was he attacked, though? Do we know? It's related to events that occurred a month ago. A leader of one of the capital's criminal organizations was indicted and prosecuted by Van Zieks. But the man was acquitted. I've no doubt large sums of money were involved behind the scenes. Large sums of money? A deplorable situation. Members of the jury were bribed, it seems. However, despite winning his freedom, the man in question met a dramatic end yesterday. But you're not suggesting that was the work of the Reaper, surely? The victim's henchmen certainly seem to think so. He was a man by the name of Asmon, Mr. Odie Asmon. Oh! What? Wait. So this is a leader of a criminal organization. Okay, interesting. So, victim is... Okay, criminal organization. It was prosecuted by Zieks. Let go. Then died in the accident. Which was the reason Zieks was attacked. Oh, he did it. Okay. Goodness gracious. Sounds like the job of an odious man, for sure. Yeah. He was a man by the name of Asmon. Odie. Asmon. Did you say Asmon?
That's the man who died in the big explosion at the Great Exhibition.
Yes. Known publicly as an investor, but in reality, the head of a significant criminal organization. Unbelievable. I wonder, could I ask you something, Lord Strongheart? Try me. Why do you use Lord Van Zeeks as a prosecutor? All the criminals who manage to get off in court then meet with mysterious ends outside the courtroom. And fearful of that fate, they seek to strike at Lord Van Zeeks first. I know there's no evidence that he actually is the Reaper in that sense, but still, something's clearly going on here. I have Van Zeek's work for the prosecution service for 2 reasons. Firstly, the man is the best prosecutor in the capital, bar none. And secondly, any deaths of criminals that have occurred outside the courtroom following his trials are nothing to do with him. That doesn't make sense. How can you explain the way so many have died if not by someone's hand? Van Zeeks may have earned himself the moniker of the Reaper, but he is no killer. So he will continue to prosecute on behalf of the Crown. Unless he wishes otherwise, of course.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Also, thank you so much for the follow.
Thank you, thank you. I appreciate it.
I knew Yakuza would somehow relate to Ace Attorney. What? Just because there's criminal organizations? There's crime in this game? Nice Yakuza reference. Well, I must be leaving for my next engagement. I'm already 11 hours and 16 minutes late. My colleagues may be starting to fidget. 11 hours? 11 hours late? That's quite something. That meeting had already started when I arrived back here for this engagement with you. So lateness was inevitable. Time stops for no man. I'm sure it stopped for me during those 12 solid arguments and 223 reasons. Oh yes, where would I find Lord Van Zeeks now? I would assume he's at his office. Right, I'll go and ask him about the attack in person. I want to get this straight from the horse's mouth. Straight from the vampire's mouth. Away with you now. I'm leaving Professor Harebrayne's defense entirely in your hands. Of course, yes. Thank you very much, my lord. You're dismissed. Get out of my sight. Okay.
Let's go to the prosecutor's office.
Straight from the vampire's fangs. There we go. Can't believe I got lost already. 22nd October, prosecutor's office.
Oh, so this is the legendary Reaper's office.
Yes, it appears so.
It sends a chill down your spine, doesn't it? What an amazingly deathly atmosphere.
Oh, is that... Sir? That hooded figure was so still. I hadn't noticed his or her presence. Wonder who it is. What are you doing here? Ah! Oh! Was that not him? He's as unwelcoming as I thought he'd be. Actually, maybe even more so. Oh, I'm glad to see you're well. Don't worry about it. It's just the hooded figure. Every vampire has one. My lord, I must insist you refer to him not as Professor Harebrayne, but as Professor Twink. I am. Wait, what did he say? Oh, I'm glad to see you're well. I am. I am well, thank you. So, who's the person over by the wall being punished for something or other? No punishment is taking place here. Oh. That's my apprentice, and he's sitting there of his own free will. I didn't know you had an apprentice. It must be the same person who was pictured in the newspaper. Oh! I almost thought that was the person who hurt him or something. I guess I didn't realize they were back-to-back fighting together. Okay. So much punishment talk around here. I know. What are they trying to say? What are they trying to say? Van Zeeks is kind of Lestat coded. I think so. I think so. I agree. He's very capable, combat, a requisite skill for anyone under my tutelage. Are you referring to the attack on the Reaper that was reported in the papers? The Reaper? I'd be interested to know the Reaper's true identity myself. Assuming, that is, such a fabled fiend genuinely inhabits our great courtrooms. Okay.
What do you think of this?
I know you've seen this around my arm before, but what is it exactly? It's the mark of a defense lawyer. In Japan, at least. And what's your reason for showing it to a British prosecutor?
Oh, well, I don't know, really.
I can understand, at least. There's merit in reminding yourself of who helped you become what you are today.
Oh.
But that's a personal matter. Something you may want to keep close at all times, not something to flaunt.
No, I suppose not. Thank you for understanding, though.
I got an award for that. Okay. Last night's attack. Lord Strongheart said that the assault last night was some sort of revenge attack? True. Carried out by henchmen of Odiasmon's criminal organization. The investigation meant their arrests were imminent. Presumably, some hoped to kill me before that happened. Odiasmon. He's always masqueraded as one of London's most powerful financiers, a global investor. But his enormous wealth came to him by underhand means via his criminal activities.
And he used that money to buy himself a verdict of not guilty when he found himself in court, didn't he? Being prosecuted by you, Mr. Reaper.
But the man got his comeuppance in the end. Yesterday, in fact, in extraordinary circumstances, it was a most unusual cause of death.
I know about that. It was super high voltage instantaneous kinesis gone wrong.
Mr. Asmon died when the demonstration on the public experimentation stage ended in an enormous explosion. Correct. And you think I have some kind of divine ability to cause an accident like that to happen, do you?
Well, no. That does seem a little far-fetched.
If this man really is the fabled Reaper, then he has to be innocent of this particular death at least.
It's strange how this has worked out, isn't it, Ruuuvo? I mean, what with you taking on the professor's defense for the trial tomorrow?
What? You're going to be defending him?
Oh yes, that's right. Though I barely know the man's name yet, to be honest.
Albert. Albert Harebrayne.
That's right. Do you know him by any chance?
Of course. He's a contemporary of mine. We were at university together.
Oh, you're... What?
You're a contemporary acquaintance, I guess?
His name is Albert Twink, actually. Albert Twink Einstein.
I look at chat and I just see, I've never had a single brain cell in my life, heart.
Love.
An interview with the vampire looks a lot different. Yeah, it looks really different. Of course, he has an apprentice and a mysterious cloak. I don't know why I'm surprised. The Van Zeeks is totally a vampire. I mean, he's very vampire coded. That's for sure. Can you imagine an anime adaptation of the Vampire Chronicles? Ooh.
I do enjoy anime vampires.
They did a manga for it. I feel like I heard about that, or saw something of it, but didn't read it. Albert Twink Einstein. And then everybody clapped. Alright, your contemporary. I'd understood that Professor Harebrayne was from Germany, though. Harebrayne's from a respectable British family. After graduating from the University of London, he moved to Germany to carry out research, that's all. So you were students together. I was in the Faculty of Law, of course, and he in science, so our paths rarely crossed. But curiously, we got along, though I've not met him since my university days. I certainly didn't expect our next encounter to take this form. And with you, of all people, representing him. Ugh, only if I make it out of this office alive. He's actually been charged with murder, it seems. Yes, I know. Because the prosecution will be handled by me. By you? But you made it sound as if you and the professor had been friends. We are friends, it's true. Then why would you do this?
If the Reaper is the prosecutor, there's nothing anyone can do to save him. He's doomed.
What's Lord Van Zeek's thinking? What do you mean by what you said before? If you'd like to know the Reaper's true identity, does that mean... I am a crown prosecutor and a mortal like any other. I'm no demigod.
But they've all died, haven't they? People you've prosecuted, I mean. Whether or not the trial ended in a conviction or an acquittal... Or an acquittal.
Those I prosecute are the vilest wretches of our society. People who without question deserve to be found guilty. The world is a better place without them. But that's not true of Mr. Natsume, for example. He wasn't a vile wretch at all.
Nor was Ginny. In fact, she's ever so hard-working now.
I can't deny that since I encountered you, things have taken a turn. But the point is this. If any of those vile wretches that escaped justice subsequently died in mysterious circumstances, it was at the hand of their own kind. It's not my work. Lord Strongheart said the same. He believes you're not involved in any way.
But you were attacked by those ruffians because they believe it's true.
The fact is, since people started to call me the Reaper of the Bailey, the number of serious crimes in the capital has dropped substantially. Oh. It would appear that even the most hardened criminals can be made fearful for their lives. Do you mean to say... I mean to say that if my pseudonym serves a useful purpose, I adopt it gladly and with honor. But it's putting you in danger. You could be killed. That is my fate. Let God decide. Damn. Lord Van Zeek's. Alright. Well, we're gonna examine the hell out of this place, because I have never been here before. But I am gonna present this first, in case I forget, and that's important, so let's do that. Lord Van Zeek's, about the article in this paper. Ah, yes. It seems there was a reporter nearby when that little skirmish took place. I had no idea I'd been photographed. It was careless of me.
It looks as though it was taken after the people who attacked you had run away, though.
Rest assured, the police have already apprehended every last one of them. But there's someone else fighting alongside you, it seems. Oh, yeah. I think it's the same man who's sitting over there as we speak, isn't it? As I mentioned already, he's my apprentice. Perhaps you could tell us a little more about him? Oh, there we go. Okay, good. I'm glad I did that. That would have been what I got stuck on again. Catch up with chat. Anne Rice was really the origin of modern vampire romances. Like, Twilight was massively popular, but it borrowed a lot from the vampire novels. Oh, for sure. I mean... I don't know. I've always loved vampires. Of course, when I was in middle school, I was obsessed with Twilight. That was one of my obsessions. But I had liked vampires even before that point. I never got into Vampire Chronicles. I always heard about it. I don't know why I never watched it. I really should have. But I did watch it like in the last few years. And I remember, you know, reading Dracula. I, of course, was obsessed with Twilight. I honestly don't remember when I first started liking vampires, but I know that I liked them before that. I don't know. It might have all kind of happened around the same time. There might have been like some anime I watched, or maybe some other movies I watched that had vampires in it. I don't know. But I've always loved them. And now I love Asterion as well, from BG3. The little twink and the larger twink were friends. Is Van Zieks a twink, though? I think he would be more like a hunk. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's like the same category, honestly. He's something different though. Like if you put Albert and this guy next to each other, there's no way you're gonna say, oh, they're both in the same category. You know what I mean? They're so different. I mean, you can see his muscles. Look how, not that a twink can't have muscles, but they're so different. Yeah, Albert Twinkenstein. That is amazing, first of all. Albert Twinkenstein did commit an act of gross negligence. Like, he did kill someone. He did, but it was an accident. It was not on purpose to murder him. So that it's very different. But a man did die. I'm immortal like any other, area man states unconvincingly. Great photography skills from this reporter, though. Yeah, they're a fan. They're a fan of Van Zieks. And they just follow him around. You have mentioned that, friend. We have already been through this. We're not gonna go through it again. You're not doing this to me again. Fun fact, I accidentally skipped the third Twilight book because I forgot it existed. By the time I realized I'd missed some significant plot points, I was already really deep into Breaking Dawn, so I was just like, whatever. Oh, so you, like, skipped a book. Oh my god. Uh-oh. Twunk. Oh yeah, Twunk. He would definitely be more of a Twunk. For sure. He's definitely not a twink. He's too broad, right? Like, those shoulders are too big. Anyone could be a twink if you think about it. Just different flavors. Your apprentice. He's in my tutelage to become a prosecutor. So you could say he's my apprentice, I suppose.
Ah, like you are to Hurley then, Ruuuvo.
I don't remember taking an apprenticeship with a great detective. He's currently compiling a report about last night's attack. Looks like he's wearing some kind of mask? On Lord Strongheart's orders. Nobody knows the man's face, or indeed his identity. But why would you agree to take on such a clearly suspicious individual? That guy's probably the Reaper. Like, I'm just calling it right now. He's probably the one killing all these people. Come on! He even has, like, a mask that kind of looks menacing. Come on. Lord Strongheart's orders, again. He's not one for meaningless follies. There will be a good reason for his actions. I hope you're right. What a mysterious individual. Look at him! That's a killer. Come on! That's a murderer. Ah. He is so scary looking. The task is complete? Good. In that case, you can collate all the briefs. Nice to meet you. Bye. Yeah, it's like Phantom of the Opera. Wait, there's actually bats in here. Hold on. There's bats up there. Oh, there's no doubt that he is a vampire. He is actually meant to be a vampire. Okay. There's literally bats in here. Frickin' bats. Come on. Back to work again. That was really strange, though. I've never met the man before. I didn't even know he existed, and yet, somehow, it didn't feel like our first encounter. What? What? Don't bother trying to converse with him. He says nothing to anybody from outside this office. Lord Strongheart has strictly forbidden it. Oh, I see. Why are you so interested in my apprentice anyway? Oh, no, I mean... Sorry, I didn't mean to... The way he stood there so casually, yet with that flawless posture. It couldn't be. What? I don't even know what he's trying to hint at right now. Amazing posture. Stood there casually, yet flawless posture. I just must not be remembering something. Ah, yes. There's something I've been meaning to ask you. What's that? That Nipponese man. Is he faring well? Sorry? The one arrested twice in succession 6 months ago. With the stoop, and the mustache, and the jitters. Oh, Mr. Natsume, you mean?
I'm not sure he'd be very pleased to find out you identified him from that list, Ruuuvo.
He's fine, thank you. In fact, I received a letter from him by international post only the other day. I see. Well, I think we can end our discussion there, don't you? There's little time left before tomorrow's trial. I advise you to spend it investigating the case. Yes, thank you for the advice. And for the conversation. I can't believe he's asking after Soseki-san. After a Nipponese. I'm not sure whether to feel happy about that or worried.
I never imagined that Mr. Reaper would be friends with a mad scientist, did you? That's a turn-up for the books.
Mad scientist? You mean Professor Harebrayne? Yes, it might be worth quizzing the professor about his relationship with Lord Van Zeeks, I think. Okay, so next thing we gotta do is talk to the defendant, but first we're gonna take a look at this frickin' vampire cave, because my god, there's a lot to look at. Before we do that, I am gonna take a break, though. Let me catch up with chat first. Maybe he's just really into cosplay, of course. Must be it. He really likes Phantom of the Opera, and he wants to cosplay it all the time. You can see literally everything about this is vampiric. Yeah, like, literally, if you didn't think he was a vampire before, he is one now. Yeah, no way that the vampire thing was accidental. With the clothes, I could be like, oh, well, maybe they didn't do it on purpose. There's bats. It's a thing. It's a thing at this point. He says nothing to anyone outside this office, for I have cut out his tongue and trapped it in a magic golden box beneath a witch elm. I feel like the golden box and witch elm weren't needed in that process. Just cutting someone's tongue out usually renders them incapable of speech. It's usually enough. Alright, with that, I'm going to take a quick BRB. I'll be back in about 5 minutes and we'll continue. We're going to take a gander around this room and then go talk to the defendant and see how far we can get in the game today. But yeah, BRB. Alright, we're back. Quick, while Bishi's gone, say something nice. Oh no, quick, everyone stop saying nice things. Oh. I like the atmosphere in these streams, but don't tell. I won't tell. I won't tell anyone. I like the stream burps. Is that the best you could do, Ruuuvo? Is that the best you could think of? I am your spouse. And that's the best you could think of? 74%. It's the same as yesterday. They change every week, not every day. How could you? How could you, Ruuuvo? Fishy streams are always a nice way for me to wind down my night. Oh. Happy to provide the service. Be mean now. Wow. OMG, Bishy is so nice. Thank you. Oh, thank you. It's like a B. Yeah, it should be an A++. I will give you time to think. Think about what you've done, Ruuuvo. Still a passing grade. Not good enough! Okay, let's look at everything. Look at that fine collection of hallowed chalices and bottles neatly lined up there. My hallowed bottles are filled with the essence of the finest grapes from the finest vineyards I visit. And I personally oversee these chalices being made by the finest crystal craftsmen in the world.
And yet you throw them around in court like they were worthless.
Yes, because this imbecile is so unimaginably and repeatedly wide of the mark sometimes. Oh! Just... Oh! Whoops. Before you open your mouth next time, you should consider the poor artisans whose work you defile. So, it's my fault? Silly me. How could I ever have thought otherwise? That is so funny. So it's canon that he just has, like, a bunch of these glasses and is just throwing them every time. Just going down the row. Lord Van Zeek's desk. Look, it's so stylish.
And that's a marble chess set beside it.
Chess. That's the Western version of our Japanese shogi game, isn't it? You know, I'm actually quite good at shogi problems.
Oh, really? You'd probably like chess problems in that case.
I would love to challenge Lord Van Zeek sometime. To a bout of shogi problems.
If you only really want to challenge yourself, you can always do that on your own at home. Ooh, look! It's a scale model of the Great Exhibition Showground.
There we go. That's amazing. I wonder why it's here.
Perhaps he made it to take his mind off the sadness of being too busy to attend in person?
Or perhaps he's too embarrassed to queue up for a ticket. Surely it's obvious that I'm using it as an investigative aid.
Ah!
You Nipponese have no business painting others as overly reserved. Ugh, I really didn't think he'd overhear that.
Oops.
Is that a portrait of him? That portrait really dominates the room, doesn't it? So handsome. It's a very majestic outfit and pose, but sadly, whoever painted it didn't do a very good job of capturing Lord Van Zeek's facial features.
Yes, you're right. I mean, it's not far off, but the artist has exaggerated his subject's handsomeness, I think.
Oh, wow. Oh, that reminds me. I heard Emperor Napoleon of France ordered artists to make him look more attractive when they painted him. That was like every royal did that.
How vain. That's really not an attractive quality in a person, is it?
That portrait does not depict me. Surely that's immediately obvious. Oh, then who is it? A relative? Oh, okay, just silence. He's just not gonna tell me. Okay, fine.
Fine!
Stay cryptic and unknowable. See if I care. I can look at the bats! Ah! What? They were bats!
Yes, the Reaper's familiars, I expect.
But what about the mute man in the dark cloak? I thought he was the familiar. Just not the flying kind.
He must be a dear friend of Mr. Reaper, then.
I think the familiar idea is more likely. Scary, though, either way. at all those ancient casks lining the wall there.
Casks in the Reaper's chamber. Or are they caskets?
You don't think all those people who escaped conviction in court are lying inside them dead, do you? I like how she was just like... like... so dramatic. What ridiculous notions are going through your head, man? This is my collection of fine vintages. Oh, yes, of course. Thank you for clearing that up.
Ruuuvo and I were just musing to ourselves. Don't mind us, Mr. Reaper.
I wouldn't if you hadn't invited yourselves to my office to talk nonsense within my earshot.
Yeah.
Wait, he's not wearing a cloak! It can't be him. Oh, it's why he wears the big cloak. It's where he stores all his wine glasses. Just got like 100 pockets in there. He could have retired instead of just taking a 5-year break, but then the Old Bailey billed him for property damage. /J. Yeah, if you didn't put the J there... I might have thought that was true. No. I appreciate it. I used to try and do the chess problems in the newspaper, but I'm so bad at them, and they just made me frustrated, so I stopped. Okay, it's too late and I'm afraid to ask, but I'm gonna ask anyway. What do they mean by a problem? Like a shogi problem or a chess problem? I have never heard that before. Like, I can kind of guess by context clues, but... Surely that's immediately obvious. All you British people look alike to me. Wow. Wow. It really looks like a punishment to me.
I've never seen someone sitting like that before.
He hasn't moved a muscle since we arrived. You think perhaps he's dead?
If he was dead, Ruuuvo, he wouldn't be sitting up, would he?
Well, anyway, dead or alive, he's not overly approachable, is he? I don't think he's going to talk to us.
He's not dead.
Well, that's it. Okay. Well, we know what we're supposed to do, so let's go do that. Goodbye, Vampire Zeeks. Okay. It's set up by it's set up a scenario, and you have to solve it by winning in the situation. Okay. You have to try to get to checkmate from a specific position on the board, basically. Okay, see. That makes sense. That's what I figured, but I just never heard that before. And I watched Queen's Gambit. How could I not know this? That was a pretty good show. Pretty good show. I watched that like 2 years ago, whenever it first came out. Okay, converse. Yeah, the Reaper's varsity years. I understand Lord Van Zeeks is a friend of yours from your university days.
Yes, that's right. He was studying law whilst I was studying science.
What was he like back then?
A good question. Unassuming, gentlemanly, an all-around nice fellow, really.
Sorry, I think you misheard me. I'm talking about the cold-hearted, merciless prosecutor, Baroque Van Zeeks. What was he like when he was at university?
Talk about a leading question, Ruuuvo. As I said, an unassuming and extremely pleasant gentleman. After all, he is the little darling of the Van Zeeks family, with all its great aristocratic origins. I didn't realize he had quite such noble blood.
You couldn't tell by his dress? Little darling.
It was a bit of a shock when I came back to Britain and learnt what he'd become. The Reaper of the Bailey, no less.
Yes, that's right.
I did hear, though, that there was a very big event in his life that completely changed him after graduation.
Really? What sort of event?
Ah! I'm sorry, but I don't know anymore. I wasn't in the country at the time. I was in Germany already.
Oh, yes, of course. If he's heard all about the Reaper, I really don't have the heart to tell him that Lord Van Zieks will be the prosecutor in court tomorrow. So, Professor, let me just make absolutely sure I've understood you properly. The huge explosion that occurred yesterday, that was an accident, you're saying. You had no intent to harm the victim, who was in fact the sole investor in your work. Is that correct? As correct as 2 squared is 4! I swear it! Yes, it's true that the man perished in a machine of my invention, so I know that I'm far from blameless in all this, but still, I would never use my discoveries, my inventions, to take a person's life, not in a centillion years. I'm a man of science! It's all I know! You have to believe me, please! Do you believe me? Do you believe in my hypothesis? Science is the pursuit of truth, you know. I've always believed that, all my life. I'm afraid I don't know much about science, or your theories, but I do believe you, and I will fight to prove your innocence with all my might. I'm a man of the law. That's all I know. You have to believe me, please. How dare you copy me? When I went to live in Germany after I graduated, I learned something very important. Nationality, class, lineage, none of that matters. As long as you try your hardest, you can achieve anything. Thank you for that, Professor. And thank you in advance for defending me tomorrow in court.
Alright, Ruuuvo. It's time. Time to visit the Great Exhibition.
Sorry?
Well, that's where the incident happened, isn't it?
Yes, I suppose that's true. Time to investigate at last. Alright, here we go! I've been looking forward to this. Let's do it. Do it. Didn't really talk much about doing problems in the Queen's Gambit. That's fine. I still thought the show was pretty good though. 22nd October. Like, I really don't know anything about chess. I never learned how to play it. I've never sat down and like actually tried to play it. I've like messed around with a chess board, but not playing against anyone. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know anything about chess. The most I know is probably from that frickin' show. That's it. 22nd October, the Great Exhibition Grounds, foot of the Crystal Tower. I already see a lot of stuff to look at. Ugh, the showgrounds are a little too big for my liking. We've been walking around in dense crowds for 2 hours now, and I felt myself swooning 3 times.
There are a lot of people, aren't there? I've almost been trodden on 3 times too!
Oh god. Careful, won't you, Iris? Don't let go of my hand. Scary. We finally made it through the throngs, though, by the look of it. Here we are underneath the public experimentation stage where the explosion happened yesterday. Ooh. What's that? I can hear voices from up on the stage. It sounds like an argument. Oh, these two. Right, I've had it with you this time. I'm warning you. I'll arrest you in a minute.
Oh yeah? Go on then, Spectre. Give it a shot. You ain't got no evidence and you know it.
Wait, I know those voices. You've got a cheeky little mouth on you, young lady, but a night in the cells will teach you some manners.
Just try it, I dare ya, if you want that bag of chips rammed down your throat.
These two.
Yoo-hoo! Gregsy! What are you doing up there?
Get down here! Oh! Oh! It's you! Here! You're here! Here you are! Your ladyship! How are you, your ladyship? I do hope you're well, your ladyship. Does that make her 3 times a lady?
I'm not well at all. It's far too busy everywhere. I wanted to ride in a balloon, but there was a 3-hour queue.
Unbelievable. I'll go and have a word for you at once, your ladyship. You'll be flying as high as a kite in no time once I pull some strings for you.
Tobias Gregson, an inspector at Scotland Yard. Until recently, he was suspended from duty, but it would appear he's back in action now. He's actually quite well known, appearing as he does in The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. And for that reason, he can't say a word wrong to the story's author, Iris. But there are limits, surely. Or there should be.
Watch it, sunshine.
Sorry.
What gives then? Don't tell me you're on this case.
Yes, I'm acting for the defense. So we're here to investigate.
Dear me. That's the situation, is it?
Is it really that troubling?
A measly 5 bob? Is that all you got? She's back. She's back!
You're a lawyer, ain't ya? You could stand to carry a bit more copper around in your pockets, Mr. Nara-Odo.
She pickpocketed me?
Well, hey! That's my last bit of spending money, that is. You can have it back, but I'll have to charge you for the bother.
3 bob.
This is Gina Lestrade, a pickpocket or diver, born and bred in the East End of London. In the case that led to my own suspension 6 months ago, this is the young girl I was defending in court.
What's your problem, Odo?
Diver? Pickpocket?
What's with all the name calling? You want a bag of chips rammed down your throat and all, do ya?
I thought you were proud to be a diver, Gina. You were just arguing with Inspector Gregson about it, weren't you? I assumed you'd been up to your usual tricks here at the showground.
That ain't no way to talk to a lady, Odo. Half a year's a long time. People can change. I'm an apprentice now, learning to be a Scotland Yard detective.
What?
So you'll have to call me what everyone else does. It's Inspector Lestrade now.
Inspector? That badge is homemade, surely.
The inspector part isn't entirely accurate. No one calls her that. For what it's worth, anyway. Investigating is off the cards for all of us.
What's that supposed to mean?
Right. Well, I'll be back up top. You hold the fort down here, alright?
Right, sir.
So she really is trying to be an investigator. Wow. I was not expecting this twist.
This
raises a lot of questions. It sure does. But that's good for her, though, you know?
I'm happy for her. I haven't saved this whole time. I'm gonna save.
There we go. Yeah, warning British. Yeah, the British accents are really here now with these two characters. They're like the strongest British accents I do.
I know the mechanics of chess and played a tiny bit when I was younger, but I don't know chess.
I mean, some people can think 10 steps ahead, and there's like names for different strategies, and you know what to do if someone does it, you know, it's be so complicated. I know how the pieces move, and that's all. I cannot win. I don't even know how the pieces move! I would have to be told that in the moment.
I was in chess club in elementary school. I was okay at it. Mostly was there so I could miss class to go to the tournaments. Nice. I wish I had a regenerating packet of chips like he has. I know. It always makes me hungry. It doesn't help that I'm already hungry right now. He made enough fish and chips to feed a crowd of 5,000 Cockney cops and ate it all himself.
So selfish.
Started reading chat again. Now I want a snack, but there's nothing compelling that would be a snack in my house. Man,
I know that feeling when you're like super hungry, but you don't want anything that you have. It's the worst feeling. It's the worst. And then you end up, I mean, you gotta eat something, right? You end up just eating something that's like, okay. Like, I'm just eating to survive, but I'm not enjoying it. Alright. It was 8 months ago now that I first encountered Gina in connection with a case I was working on. At the time, she was living in the East End with a group of other orphans. She helped all of them survive by pickpocketing, but then she got embroiled in a murder. I had a lot of time to think in prison. I realized I couldn't go on like I was. The diving weren't working out.
Oh, I'm so pleased to hear it, Ginny. Well done.
So, you went from being a pickpocket to a detective? You got it.
Good, isn't it? Inspector Lestrade. Sounds like something out of a book, eh?
Talk about a sea change.
And then there's Iris's old man to think about.
Iris's father, you mean?
Yeah, I promised her, didn't I? I said I'd get all the police forces around the world to pull out all the stops looking for him.
Oh, forgot about that. Just a small promise then. Nothing serious.
Oh, Ginny, you're so sweet. So anyway, that's how I come and had a go at the test for Scotland Yard. Only trouble is, I don't read so well, do I?
Just a small problem. Nothing serious.
And that's when Hurley approached Gregsy and asked for help. So the inspector said he would take full responsibility for Ginny and made her a sort of apprentice.
That was very magnanimous of Inspector Gregson. And brave.
Well, you know Hurley. He enjoys finding ways to make people do what he wants.
The great detective likes digging for dirt, in other words.
So, the long and the short of it is, if you've got questions about the case, you can ask Inspector Lestrade.
Right then. Inspector? Actually, there's still a big mystery surrounding Gina, isn't there?
Ooh, what, Ruuuvo, what?
Well, 6 months ago, Gina was the defendant in a trial prosecuted by the Reaper. Trial in which she was found not guilty, and yet, here she is still.
Come on, you're not still on about that, are ya? The Legend of the Reaper, or whatever it's called.
Or, you don't have to worry, although her accent is so difficult. If I didn't have worry, there probably wouldn't be a whole lot of you left.
It's like I told you before, isn't it? The Reaper's kinda like him upstairs, so he knows what I'm like on the inside. That I ain't really done nothing wrong.
Nothing wrong might be stretching a point.
What about Mr. Natsume in Japan? He's perfectly fine, isn't he?
Well, that's true. Perhaps the Reaper is more discerning than I thought.
Exactly. So I ain't worried. I'm totally fine.
Alright.
Alright.
Wow, it does almost sound like something out of a book. Something out of a very famous book. The title escapes me. I'm assuming Inspector Lestrade is a character in Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock Holmes is another thing I don't know too much about. I think I watched... Okay, well, I did watch... I don't know if I finished all of it, but in, like, early high school, I was really into the BBC Sherlock Holmes show. And then, what else was there? No, I think that's... Oh, well, I think I watched a movie about Sherlock Holmes, and then now this game. So, really, almost nothing. I definitely haven't read any of the books, although I've thought about it. I have thought about it. Yeah, something insert Sherlock Holmes line reference here, yep. I mean, I know this, the Chronicles are chock full of Sherlock references, and I don't get, like, any of them unless they're super, super famous, I guess. It probably was one of the, Downey Jr. movies. I don't even know if I watched it all the way through, to be honest. I feel like it was just on TV when I walked in the room and I saw, like, the last half or something. I think that's what happened.
It was out of this world, it was. The brainy bloke pulled a bunch of levers on his machine and suddenly it started billowing smoke. Then it just went pop. I ain't seen a better experiment here yet.
Sorry?
You mean you saw it, Ginny? With your own eyes? Yeah, of course. The boss is in charge here, ain't he? Of keeping everything running smooth, I mean.
Boss being Inspector Gregson, I suppose. That's going to take some getting used to.
So all I have to say is that I'm on duty, and I can do whatever I want to. Get this, I was up in one of them flying balloons when it happened, watching it from above. No, you're so lucky, Ginny. Maybe I should join Scotland Yard too. Yeah, do it! You know how to put the boss in his place already, right, Iris? You'd have no trouble at all. Then it's settled. When do I start?
No. You can't join Scotland Yard, Iris.
We'll see. Anyway, what I don't understand is this. If the machine exploded so spectacularly, how can Professor Bunnybrain still be claiming that his experiment was a success? Oh, right. Well, it was a success, in a way.
It was?
How can it have been?
Maybe he really did get shot over there, but then he died in the process, which I figured would happen anyway. Surely after the whole machine blew up, no one could call the experiment a success.
It's like I said, it did sort of work. I mean, yeah, there was a load of smoke in that whopping great bang. But where'd you think they found the victim's body, eh? In the crystal tower over there.
What? In the tower?
Yep. You can see for yourself, can't ya? Up there above the scaffold. Oh, where all the glass is broken, you mean?
Well, it seems like he didn't get transported there so much as, like, shot through the window, you know? I think he was supposed to dematerialize and then reappear, not, like, just get thrown.
Yeah, the cage what the victim got in to start with really did get beamed through the air or whatever and landed all the way over there.
Maybe the point was just to throw him?
So you see, it did kind of work, didn't it?
What? I don't believe it.
I mean, I don't get the ins and outs of it, but anything's possible, right? With science.
Steven! Do you believe in science, Steven? Anything is possible with it. Welcome in, y'all. Thank you so much for the raid, Steven. Welcome in, Steven Enjoyers. Welcome in, Raptor. Welcome in, Last Person. And of course, Steven. Let me get a shout out for you. What were you playing, Steven? Let me see. Let me take a look. Oh, more Crash Word. Nice. I still haven't played it. Every time you come in and we talk about Crash Word, I'm like, I gotta play that. Still haven't done it. But welcome in, y'all. Sorry about the ads, y'all. Apologies. Sorry about that. Yeah, welcome in, y'all. If you can hear me. Maybe I should wait a little bit. Maybe I should wait to introduce myself. I realize the timing is suspect. Oh, no worries. No worries at all. Gonna head off to bed. No worries, PC Man. Thanks for being here and hanging out with us. I hope that you get some good rest. And we will see you around. We'll see you next time. Ads? What ads? Steven! No ads for Steven!
Let's get some shit.
Thanks so much for subscribing for 22 months. Oh my god, cheers. Make a star for you, Steven. We make a star. I don't know when to introduce myself. I'm not sure when the ad is over. Here you go, Steven. A star just for you. Enjoy your star. And enjoy your shoes. Whatever they are. Good night, PC Man. Alright. Well, my name is Bishi. We are playing some Ace Attorney tonight. We're playing Great Ace Attorney Chronicles Resolve, which is the second game. And we just started the third case tonight. So I'm making my way through the game. I'm a big fan of Ace Attorney. I played the original trilogy a few years ago, and am also playing through Apollo Justice, but I thought I should finish Chronicles first. That's what we're doing. I'm also a huge fan of Yakuza. I am currently playing Infinite Wealth, which is the latest installment. But I've played all of the other Yakuza games, pretty much. Anything that's localized and on console, I've played it. But yeah, welcome in, y'all. We play all kinds of stuff, but those are the two main games I'm doing right now. I did buy the Dead Space remake recently, though. I did buy that, so I'll be streaming that sometime soon. I love Dead Space. Let me catch up with chat here. Let me see. We were just talking about Sherlock Holmes, since he is in this game, but his name is Herlock Sholmes to avoid copyright. We love Herlock here. He's a very silly, goofy man in this game. Let me catch up with chat. I still think it's hilarious that there's a canon Ace Attorney line referencing Sherlock Holmes, and then they had to call him Herlock Sholmes instead. Yeah. Always thought it was odd, considering that Holmes was a public domain character. Chronicles was released in 2021. Sherlock Holmes wasn't public until 2023. Yeah. There's other newer properties that use Sherlock Holmes as a character that probably make the actual rights a bit of a tangled mess. Yes. Yeah, Sherlock Holmes being public domain, super recent. Literally last year. Before that, nobody could really use his likeness. I think they had to get, like, strict permission, etc. So I feel like it's fine to reference Sherlock Holmes in a sentence, like, oh, this reminds me of the tales of Sherlock Holmes. Like, I think that's probably usually fine. But the fact that they have him as a character in this game, they had to be careful with that and rename him something ridiculous, so, yeah. Ooh, Dead Space, yeah. I love Dead Space, and I have not played the remake yet, and it's on sales for super cheap right now, so I grabbed it. That is still one of the weirdest things to me that they named him Herlock Sholmes. I know. Well, I guess it was like the easiest way to rename him without it being too different. Like, instead of Sherlock Holmes, they could have done something like Sandy Holmes. You know what I mean? Like, something weird. So they just replaced the letters in the beginning. I guess they thought that would be enough. But anyway, my voice is not happy with me, but I really want to get to, like, a good stopping point. I'm gonna try to keep going. I'm gonna try. Why do you give an English accent to a Scottish girl? Is she meant to be Scottish? I don't know if I knew that. Is she? Either way, I can't do a Scottish accent, really. So I just do an English one. I just give her a Cockney accent. I don't know, man. I'm doing my best. You think just because she's got that pattern that she's Scottish? You're making assumptions. See? I'm giving her the correct accent. I was right. Oh. I'm not gonna give my best attempt. No, thank you. I already said I can't do it. I'm not gonna attempt it. If I heard someone speaking like it, maybe immediately after I could mimic it, but I don't get the ins and outs of it, but anything's possible with science. With science!
Oh, I tell you what. You can have this. It's a plan of the experiment they drew up at the yard.
Are you sure?
Yeah, go on. I had 3 bob off you before, so fair's fair.
Yes, I didn't actually give that to you, did I? A sketch of the experiment has been entered into the court record. A diagram showing the relative positions of the crystal tower and Professor Harebrayne's machine that exploded. Chiller was like... just immediately. Something Inspector Gregson said before seemed a little strange.
For what it's worth anyway, investigating is off the cards for all of us.
That was weird, wasn't it?
Yes, naughty old Gregsy ran off after that without explaining himself. Oh right, that. The boss said no one's allowed to investigate that weird machine what blew up yesterday. Well, that's not fair. We're representing the defendant.
In that case, could you at least tell us what you've learned from your investigations?
Nah, you're not getting it. We ain't allowed to investigate neither.
Why?
What did the boss call them again? The forensic investigation team, I think. Anyway, apart from them lot, no one's allowed to lay a finger on the scene. Bit funny, isn't it?
So even Scotland Yard's own detectives can't investigate. Yes, I've never heard something like that before.
I thought I could have a gander on the quiet, though, but the boss caught me at it. You probably heard him giving me an earful about it before from down here, didn't ya?
Very difficult accent.
It's not bleeding fair.
I think you were giving him as much of an earful back as I remember it.
Yeah, well, sometimes I think it's all them chips what made him so stubborn. You say something to him, Otto. Go on, see if you can get through to him.
He's up on the platform above us, is he? Where the machine that exploded is.
We can try, can't we, Ruuuvo? Rexy will listen to us.
We'll see. Alright, let's go. Right. Examine? How do I get up there? These stairs obviously lead to the stage above. We should go up there and investigate the exact spot where the experiment was being conducted. Okay. Just had to look with my eyeballs. 22nd October, the Great Exhibition Grounds Experimentation Stage. Wow. So that's it, is it? The machine that blew up.
Ooh, it must have been a magnificent explosion, and I've seen my fair share.
You've seen things like this before, you mean?
Of course. Hurley's always doing experiments that end in a bang. In fact, in his own words, explosions are the very essence of chemistry.
Ah, that might explain the smell of burning that frequently comes wafting up the stairs.
One time, he made something that exploded with such force, it took the roof off the building. I wish you'd been there to see it, Ruuuvo.
It's hard to get too excited about that, given that I now live in the roof. That's true.
Well, anyway, that's enough about that. It's time to investigate.
There's Gregsy. Oh look, Inspector Gregson is over there. He seems to be deep in thought about something, whilst eyeing up the machine carefully.
Really? He just looks confused to me.
Okay, so we can't converse, but we could talk to him probably through this. Alright. Yeah, her accent is like phonetically a Cockney accent. I don't think there's been a Scottish character yet. There was an Irish character though, so I did my best for that. I don't think it was very good. Oh, I checked and it was actually Arsène Lupin versus Sherlock Holmes that did the Sherlock thing first. Okay, I think I do remember someone telling me about that before, that Chronicles is not the first time that his name has been spelled that way. So I guess they got it from that, you know. They found the cheat code and everyone's using it. Of course, nowadays you could just say Sherlock Holmes. What's funny about that is, like, I guess it's only been a year. But I haven't seen like a big surge in Sherlock Holmes like shows or movies or whatever since the copyright expired. You know what I mean? But it's also only been a year. Maybe there's things in the works. We're gonna see like a big resurgence in Sherlock Holmes in like 2 years. I'm calling it now. Oh, probably because of the other media. Okay, yeah. So there's something else that's a problem now. I forgot. Inspector Gregson, that's also a Sherlock character. Yeah, there's a bunch of different Sherlock characters in Chronicles. I know random fun facts about random things for no reason. No, the reason is to tell other people so they can say, oh, I didn't know that. That's the purpose. Entertainment value. I miss Emma Sky. Oh my god. My mom recently told me that my great-grandfather's first name was Arsène. And I was like, oh my god, like the thief. And she was like, why would you say that about Grandpa? He was an honest man. That's what she thinks. He was secretly a thief. He led a double life. Ellen Yard is always confused. When do they ever do anything good? There's already a lot of Sherlock media as is. We're definitely not short on that. That's true. The reason is to tell other people. Thank you, Bishop. Yep. To tell other people for fun. Come on. I like sharing fun facts. Let me think of one. Do I want to say this one? The first thing I thought of was a gross one. I don't know why. I'm sorry. Did you know that vultures purposely pee on their legs and feet? And I forget the reason why. Hold on, I gotta Google it. I gotta Google it. Hold on. It's to cool down. It's to cool down. And it helps kill bacteria, apparently. It keeps them clean. They pee to keep them clean. Believe it or not, I did know that. Okay. Okay. And now you know. Wasn't that a really fun fact that I said just now? That is a sentence of all time. Yep. Very fun. That's the fun bird fact of the day. It was certainly a fact, yeah. The purpose of fun facts is to tell other people. So I told other people. That's what I did. Anyway, it ripped itself apart magnificently, didn't it?
Magnificently and mercilessly.
So someone stands in the middle of the machine to be disassembled and then beamed through the air.
Yes, beamed. Not blasted. That's the point.
Yes, that part's crucial, really. Is something like that even possible, though, Iris?
Oh, Ruuuvo, I'm just a child. How should I know?
The fuck? What do you mean? You have like a doctorate degree. You have a PhD. A child when it suits you, you mean?
From what I can tell, I think if you were to pull this lever here...
Stop! Don't touch that!
Haha! That was practically instantaneous kinesis the way you flew over just now, Gregsy.
Please, your ladyship, a sub. Please subscribe. Thank you so much for gifting a sub to Luna, Steven. Thank you. Not another jump scare. Oh my god. Enjoy your sub, Luna. Thank you for doing that, Steven. Make a star. Luna gets a yellow star. You know what else is yellow? It's related to the fun fact I said earlier. Can you guess? I'm so sorry. It's a yellow star. Stars are yellow. You get a star for your knowledge. PP, yay! Oh my god. The moon, yes, the moon is also... To be honest, that is what I thought of first, okay? Because your name is Luna. I was like, oh, Luna, it's a yellow like the moon. But then I had to make it cursed, so sorry. Enjoy your sub. Enjoy it. Fun fact, vultures scary. Despite that gross fun fact, I actually do love vultures. And I think they are very cute. Let me look up the specific vulture. Make sure I'm saying this. Oh, it's just, yeah. I think that black vultures specifically are super cute. I at one point was following someone on TikTok that worked with different types of like wild birds, like birds of prey, things like that. and there was a black vulture at the facility, and it was just very, very sweet to the person. Like, it would preen them and everything. And I know that they're bald, but I don't know, they just have like a cute little face. I think they're cute. Not all of these pictures are that cute, though, I have to say. But I've seen one in person, and it was very cute. It was like the size of a chicken, and me and Ruuuvo went to a wild bird sanctuary, basically, and we got to feed different birds. And for the vulture, they had us like cup our hand like we're holding an ice cream cone, and then they put the meat in there, and then the little vulture would just like run around and come and get all the meat, and it was just like bouncing around. It was very, very cute. Anyway, I think a lot of birds are cute, even if they're not stereotypically cute. There are definitely some birds I do not like. One of them being pelicans. I don't like pelicans. I don't like, what's that bird's name? Patoo? Yeah, I do not like patoo or nightjars. And I don't like pelicans. No. But I like vultures. I like, what's that other bird? Shoebills. I like emus. I like cassowaries. I wouldn't go up to one in the wild, you know, but... You don't like pelicans? I can't believe this. I know. They're just... I think they're vile creatures. I don't like them. Like, I mean... I don't know. Like, if there's a cartoon pelican in a show, I'm not gonna hate it. And I don't hate Pelipper. I just don't like pelicans in real life. You don't like their mouth sack? Yeah, I don't like how many things they can eat. It bothers me. Ruuuvo shares this feeling with me. We don't like pelicans. All my friends hate pelicans. Animals in general are interesting but terrifying. Some of them can be very terrifying, yes. I have a firm belief that most animals could kill me, even the little ones. I'm not afraid of them, but I don't give them the opportunity to kill me. I can understand that. However, to my point, vultures do not kill animals. They only eat ones that have already died. And they're just kind of like the cleanup crew of the environment, so. They serve a very important purpose, and they don't kill anything, so. They wouldn't try to kill you. They would just eat you after you've died. And I mean, you're not there anymore. Why not be in the belly of a vulture? Oh, my aunt's turkey used to chase me around. I'm sorry. Turkeys can be mean. And they're big, so they can be very... They can actually do some damage, yeah. I mean, even a rooster could actually really, really hurt you. With those spurs they've got. Mm-hmm. To be fair, Pelipper ruined my last Emerald Rogue Nuzlocke run, so we have a love-hate relationship. Well, there you go. Another reason to not like pelicans. Vultures can be fine as long as they don't chase me like my aunt's turkey. They would not chase you unless you had raw meat in your hand. But then they would just want to eat the raw meat and leave you alone. Okay.
Please, your ladyship. I didn't mean to startle you, but I can't let you touch anything up here. So sorry. You can have some of my latest special blend to make up for it.
Glug, 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 glug.
Ah, wonderful. This stuff really is wonderful.
It's just like old times, this is. It's funny because Ryu talks like he has an English accent, but I don't give him one because I can't be bothered. I need some way to differentiate him from everybody else, or they're just all gonna sound the same. We're representing Professor Harebrayne in court tomorrow, Inspector. So we should be allowed to examine the scene.
Ha! Listen, Sunshine. Even I'm not allowed to touch anything up here. It's that blasted Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act to blame. It's driving me potty.
Driving me potty, huh? Oh yes, that special dispensation. Professor mentioned that too.
More red tape's all we need. I don't know what the government thinks it's playing at sometimes. But we're allowed to just look, aren't we? Huh? Surely that's all right, isn't it, Grexy? Course, your ladyship. Anything you say, your ladyship. But please don't get your dainty hands dirty, will you? Don't worry. We wouldn't dream of touching anything, would we, Ruuuvo?
She really knows how to get what she wants. We could talk to him too, though. Throw the meat like a frisbee. Yeah, that'll work. I also used to be super scared to feed horses. I heard they can bite your fingers off. Oh god. They very much can, and a horse is one of the animals you least want to bite your fingers off. That's a very specific fear. I mean, like, I get it. I mean, in general, I feel like horses can do so much damage. Like, my family has horses, and anytime I'm around them, I am very, very mindful, very careful. You know, when you feed them, you have to feed them a very specific way. You gotta make sure you're not just, like, doing this. You have to, like, flatten your hand and tuck in your thumb. That kind of thing. Or just give them something that's, like, long so they can just grab it. And then you never want to, like, walk behind them because they can kick you. That kind of thing. So you just have to be very aware when you're around horses. Usually, if they're socialized and trained, they're not gonna try to bite you. It would be an accident. But I've definitely been around horses that want to try to bite you because they're not very well trained. So, that can be scary. I've never been bitten by a horse, but that's also because I stay away from the horses that want to bite you, you know, and I'm very careful with them. But, yeah. Right, yeah, because they eat grass, it would just crush your hand, you know. No, I do get it. I do get it. I'm just here, like, inexplicably uncomfortable existing near most animals. Really? Man! I mean, there are some animals that are dangerous and scary for sure. I love animals, but I try to be very careful around them. You know, I wouldn't want to go up to just like a random animal in the street for sure. I blame it on the big dog my family had when I was tiny, but I barely remember it now. Yeah, I mean, if you've had a negative experience, of course, like, I completely understand that, you know? Like I said, there are a lot of animals that are dangerous. Certainly. Certainly are. Using high voltage electricity to somehow disassemble a man's body and then beam him across to the Crystal Tower. It's an extraordinary thing to attempt, especially in public. True. It was by far the most unusual of the experiments planned for the exhibition mind. To be honest, I'm a bit surprised it was allowed. Carrying out something so dangerous with so many spectators present, I mean. The government's doing everything it can to promote new science and technology at the moment. They're more worried about being ahead of the game than the odd spot of public safety infringements. If they can be the first to develop some new technology, it makes Britain more powerful in the future, you see. Yes, I suppose that's true, in a way. The powers that be are placing a heavy emphasis on scientists' rights at the moment. What sort of rights? They're making it so that any theories the brains have remain their legal property, as it were. Right through developing it into a practical idea, and even going into production. Which is the infuriating reason us coppers aren't allowed to touch this crime scene. Because the new High Fulton Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act forbids it. I see now. The only people with permission to investigate here are from some brand new department at the Yard. Forensic Investigation Team, it's called. We've been relegated to keeping guard. Forensic Investigation Team. Any old fool can see that this heap of scrap metal was a sham to begin with. But just because it says scientific equipment on the paperwork, we can't do a flamin' thing with it.
Poor Grexy. He's very head up, isn't he?
I used to also be really scared of dogs, but I was kind of cured of that by a friend who had a very gentle, very large dog. Aw. The dog just rested his head in my lap and looked up at me, and I was like, I could never be afraid of this guy. He just wants me to love him. Oh. That is so sweet. Yeah, I actually have also had a negative experience with dogs a couple times. I've been bitten by big dogs, I think twice, when I was a kid. And I actually still have a scar from one of those times. But I somehow did not get a phobia of big dogs or dogs in general. But I am very careful now about how I approach dogs and stuff like that. You know, you don't want to put your face close to them. I never got bit in the face or anything, but I don't know if I can show my hand. I don't know if it'll focus on it enough to see it. Oh gosh. Maybe I'll do this. Can you see it? It's pretty light, but it's like right there. There's this little like line going like that. That is the scar I have from getting an incisor, the canine in there. But you know, I was fine. I didn't even have to go to the doctor or anything. It just healed on its own. But maybe that's why I have a scar. I don't know. White scar, jump scare, stop! But yeah. It was a German Shepherd. But it was not out of aggression towards me. It was an accident. So that's probably part of it too. It's like I wasn't attacked. I just got bit. And then the other time I was running past a dog in the park and the dog like lunged and bit me, but it was trying to play, I think, or maybe it didn't understand. It was not being aggressive to me. I don't think. I was very little. So yeah. That was not fun either, but I'm all right. I'm okay. Yeah, I'm very careful around dogs, around cats, any pet, any animal. Just gotta practice caution. A neighbor's dog pounced on me and knocked me over when I was little, and I wasn't badly hurt, but I was really upset and scared by it. Aww. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. When you're a little kid, a big dog is like a big monster sometimes, you know? So if they do something like that or they hurt you, you're gonna really remember that. It's gonna stick with you. Remind me again, what's this new legal act that means we're not allowed to touch the scene here? Are you having me at it, Sunshine? It's a special dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act. How many times am I gonna have to say that?
Yes, I think Hurley mentioned that recently, with a real twinkle in his eye as I remember.
I'm sure he did, Your Ladyship. I'm sure he did. Passed especially for this great exhibition it was. All scientists have to do is present their ideas or inventions to some suits in the civil service. And if it gets rubber stamped, that's a guarantee of rights to maintain the invention's confidentiality. What does that really mean? Think about it. Think of all the world-changing new inventions on display every day at this exhibition. Though a good half of them are a load of cobblers, if you ask me, put forward by shammers like yourself. Thanks for that.
Well, I love how absurd some of the inventions here are. It's all so fun.
It might be fun to you, but a member of the force has to be present at every single demonstration. Can you imagine, eh? Hang science, that's what I say.
Oh, I don't think so. That sounds like my dream job.
You'd soon think otherwise after spending a day guarding all these shammers' bogus contraptions. But if they're all bogus, how can anyone hope to demonstrate them? There would be no point. Yeah, well, there is a point, sadly. Sorry. Thanks to another of our government's bright ideas. If any theory or invention is deemed to show potential, the government hands out a research grant. Scientists get funding? Exactly. And that's what they're all after. All these shammers coming from far and wide to clog up Hyde Park. And who has to keep them all safe, eh? Who has to smile politely and welcome them? Us coppers, that's who. So you can see why I say it now, can't ya? Hang science! Hang it!
Oh, maybe I can see your point.
Apparently, Professor Harebrayne lives and works in Germany now, conducting his research. That's right. Came back to Britain especially for the Great Exhibition, as I understand it. Probably after one of the government's research grants. Actually, we learned something else about the professor earlier today. About his time and further education. It turns out he was at university with someone we both know. Lord Van Zeeks. Eh? What's that? That's news to me. But if Van Zeeks mans the prosecution, then, as the accused, the professor's fate is sealed, because the Reaper will get him one way or another. Blimey, that man's beyond me. I know what goes on in that head of his. Talking of Van Zeeks, this morning's paper ran the story of him being attacked. Read that?
Oh yes, but Mr. Reaper is completely fine. Nothing to worry about.
Yes, right. Glad to hear it. Still, the Reaper, huh? How long was that business going to keep up, I wonder? Oh. More dialogue! The victim of this case, the investor, Mr. Asman, he was another of the Reaper's victims, or so I heard. Lord Beric Van Zeeks is a top-class prosecutor, but even he can't always push the right verdict through. Sometimes justice can't win. Yes, I've heard about jurors being bribed and evidence being falsified. And that's how the notion of the Reaper of the Bailey came about, isn't it? Obviously, Scotland Yard suspected Van Zeeks initially. We all assumed he was taking matters into his own hands if he failed to seal the deal in court. Although the man himself denies that charge. Well, we've done a very thorough investigation, and the conclusion we reached is that Lord Van Zeeks is in no way related to the deaths of those people outside the court. There's no question in my mind. I'd stake my reputation on it, I would. But if that's true, then how do you explain it? All those defendants couldn't have just coincidentally died if nobody killed them. I know that, but I can't explain it. It's a mystery after all, isn't it? That's the whole point of the Reaper. Professor Harebrayne mentioned something else. He said that at university, Lord Van Zeeks was a totally different person, easygoing and kind. What? He said that it was after they both graduated that something happened to change the man. Do you have any idea what it was? No clue. Really? Look, I've got my hands full watching over this frustrating crime scene. Why don't you go and make a nuisance of yourself elsewhere, eh? Okay, so we're done with that. You gonna share those chips? I know, I'm so hungry right now. He's making me hungry. I guess we can look around, right? We gotta look around here. You what, mate? Yeah, that's the accent. Good night, friend. Have some good sleep. And thanks for hanging out. We'll see you later. We'll see you around. Okay. I gotta focus on finishing this up here. Considering how badly damaged everything is, Professor Harebrayne was lucky to escape unscathed, I'd say. We should have a good look around the machine while we can, I think. Touch anything and I'll make sure I kill you before I get strung up myself, you hear? I won't touch a thing, I promise, so please spare a thought for your digestion. Anyway, do you really think this machine could actually disassemble people like the professor claims? He asks, looking totally incredulous. Give it a rest, sunshine. If we were allowed to examine all this bleeding scrap metal, maybe we could answer that question. But we can't, can we?
Because of the annoying rules, you mean?
Exactly! The annoying, obstructive, flaming rules. Oh, look at the base of the machine there.
Oh yes, there's a tool of some kind poking through the wire mesh.
It's a screwdriver, I think. There's blood?
Oh, isn't it a lovely one? The handle is in the shape of a capital letter A.
It is? Oh, you're right. What's the matter with you? Don't touch anything, I said. Touch anything and I'll make sure I kill you before I get strung up myself, I said. Yes, I understand. Sorry. I only touched a teeny weeny bit.
But Gregsy, I'm very curious about this screwdriver. Really, very, very curious.
Of course, your ladyship. You're so clever, your ladyship. Fancy spotting something like this. But I'm afraid I can't let you have it.
But Ruuuvo found it first.
I assure you, I'll investigate it thoroughly. He's gone off with it. Oh.
That was very mean. I'm afraid Inspector Gregson is going to make a very clumsy and embarrassing mistake in next month's installment now.
Typo. Installment typo. Poor Gregsy. Well, we did make something happen. My goodness. Oh my goodness. I'll investigate after I'm done chewing out this piece of cod. Good night, Raptor. Thanks for hanging out. See you later. 0 out of 10 unplayable. That amazing horn-shaped device is pointing towards the crystal tower. I suppose once people are disassembled by the machine, they're shot out of that thing to wherever they're going.
I don't think it was supposed to shoot anything, Ruuuvo. It was set up to beam people to the crystal tower where they'd be reconstructed in their original form.
Well, I don't like the look of it. If it was as amazing as it looks, the accident wouldn't have happened in the first place, of course.
I suppose that's true, yeah.
But nothing ever goes according to plan, does it? I guess that's it. I don't know if we really need to look at anything. Oh yeah, we're done here. Okay. So you're still here. This one, I guess. As a detective, what do you make of this? Personally speaking, 9 times out of 10 I find clues turn out to be red herrings. So there's every chance that's totally irrelevant. That's actually a fairly persuasive argument. Goodbye. I guess let's move, I think we need to look. There are all sorts of strange buildings here in the Great Exhibition Grounds, aren't there? I seem to remember something similar being exhibited in Japan one time.
Oh, in your country, Ruuuvo? I do wish I could go and see it. I'd present a particularly steely samurai with a present of one of Hurley's stories I'd written, especially. And see if I couldn't get Hurley into a jam against some, Aritsu Master Ninjas.
You might not find as many of those sorts of people around as you think.
Oh, well that's dull.
Ooh, but I do know a prosecutor with a chonmage top knot I could introduce you to.
A chonmage, really? You think I could have my picture taken with him, do you?
Assuming he's recovered from the trim Kazuma gave him a year ago. Yes. He barely has. He's barely. How the hell do I get back downstairs? Let's just leave and come back. That's gonna have to be how this happens. Look at him just standing there menacingly! Lord Van Zeeks? Yeah, get over here. I want to look at you up close.
I think he's ignoring you, Ruuuvo.
The prosecution and defense should avoid speaking outside of the courtroom as a rule. So if anyone is being rude here, it's most certainly the man in black there standing before us.
Oh, I see. Well, thank you for setting the record straight. Hehe, did you see that? He spoke to me, Ruuuvo.
So, Lord Van Zeeks, have you managed to visit the Great Exhibition yet? We're suddenly doing more dialogue.
He's definitely ignoring you.
Right. No niceties either, then. Okay. Just look at him standing there! This silly guy. Okay, anyway. Not what we need to do. Let's go back. He's just standing there. Menacingly! Okay. We are done with you. See this.
It looks as though somebody dropped something behind the tree just here.
Dropped or hid? What is this? Some part of the machine that exploded? I almost thought it was like a crossbow. I think it is.
Maybe. It could have fallen from the platform above in the blast, perhaps. What's going on here?
Oh, nothing. I think I'll hang on to this just in case. Mysterious contraption, a very curious device found behind a tree under the experimentation stage at the exhibition grounds. almost as if it had been hidden there deliberately. Alright. Well, let's look at this, obviously. Crystal Tower. Certainly an apt name. It was built to be the focal point of the exhibition, and it definitely is, being so tall and with all that glass. I can't imagine a building like this ever being erected in Japan.
There are lots of exhibits inside the tower as well, apparently. Of course, there's an observation deck, but there's also an art gallery, a zoo, and a museum. But I heard you have to queue for 3 hours just to get through the doors.
Well, at the moment, the shattered glass from the failed experiment may well be the biggest draw.
And thanks to that accident, the whole tower is shut.
Suddenly, it's not the Crystal Tower anymore, but the Crystal Glass Shower.
Apparently, everyone's taking to the skies now to look down on the disaster area from above instead. But there's a 3-hour queue to go up in a balloon now.
Londoners must be very patient people. Okay. I wonder if we do just need to go back upstairs. I don't think there's anything else to do. Oh, there's this. Oh, yeah, important.
Oh, look, what's this?
A ripped piece of cloth. It's not like any fabric I've ever seen before. It's very thick and stiff. It looks extremely durable.
It's canvas, I think, with some sort of rubber backing. And the edges appear to be a bit charred as well.
Maybe that means it had something to do with the explosion.
Let's make a note of it while Ginny's mid-yawn.
A torn piece of canvas-like material backed with rubber that was found under the experimentation stage at the exhibition ground. There are scorch marks at the edges. For some reason, the ground is damaged in this spot. Look! Almost as if there was a fire here or something.
Yes. If you look closely, there's some scattered ash and burnt embers, too.
I suppose there was a big explosion just above here. People probably wouldn't bat an eyelid at a small fire like this. At a small fire like this would have been.
I'm not sure we English are quite that laid back, Ruuuvo.
Okay. I think I remember this being one of the sections I got so frustrated with missing a detail that I turned on story auto to get what I was missing. Really? I gotta just look at everything then, probably. Which, I think we've seen everything here.
La 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 la.
Oh, we can look at this? I've been meaning to ask you for a while now, but what are those funny round blobs floating in the sky?
Oh, they're the flying balloons I've been talking about. I want to go up in one so much.
I've read about situations like this in a magazine about strange phenomena. Creatures from outer space coming in round flying objects to attack Earth.
What?
I suppose inhabitants of other planets are bound to be interested in the Great Exhibition. This is it, Iris. It's happening.
It's not. Don't worry. I'll explain it all to you later over a nice cup of tea, Ruuuvo.
He thinks they're aliens. Okay. Oh, there's something else to look at. Oh, okay.
That's where the cove ended up after is instant kinesis, or whatever they call it. Dead, of course.
And yet they're calling the experiment a success?
What's the wooden scaffold there? Oh, sorry. What's the wooden scaffold there for?
Wrong voice.
The coppers, our lads, set that up after the incident happened. To get the body down, I think. Dunno, really.
Didn't you help to erect the scaffold then?
Nah, lookout duty's more my thing. Wandering round the exhibition and keeping a lookout for the fun stuff.
Mind Gregson doesn't hear you saying that, or he'll give you the boot. It's incredible, though, isn't it? I mean, could the victim really have bridged that gap by some sort of invisible kinesis? Oh. That's what I was missing. Oh, that was the thing that you missed? Yeah, I mean, because, like, you have to point at it twice. So that's a little annoying. Ryunosuke, alien believer. They're out there. They're up there in the skies.
Ruuuvo, listen.
What? What is it?
I've been thinking. Hurley might know something, mightn't he?
About what?
About Mr. Reaper.
About what happened to Lord Van Zeeks, you mean? Because it sounds like something very significant occurred after he graduated from university. Something that completely changed his life. Maybe, but I have no idea where to find Mr. Sholmes at the moment. He's in the middle of some big case, isn't he?
Here, this is what you need.
What's this? Some kind of entrance ticket? Madame to Spells. Is this supposed to mean something to me?
You don't know it? It's the most popular attraction in London at the moment. It's very close to Baker Street, actually. We could go now if you like.
No. We don't have time for visiting attractions today, Iris. We have a big trial tomorrow.
But that's where Hurley is.
What? At this popular London attraction?
Yes.
How is it that you know where he is?
Hurley told me. But he told me to keep it a secret from you, Ruuuvo.
Madame to Spells? I don't see how it could be related to the case we're investigating here, but then stranger things have happened. When they happen, Mr. Sholmes is usually at the heart of them. Let's see real quick. Blah, blah. Good night, Arkham. Thanks for hanging out with us. We will see you later. Okay, so now we can go to a new place. Okay. We're gonna have to stop here, y'all. My voice is dying. We're at the usual stream end time anyway. Let me just make a note that I need to go to that place when we start up again tomorrow. Okay, go to Madame to Spells. Okay. Now we know what to do. Oh my goodness, well, we did reach kind of a stopping point, so that's good. I am glad for that. But yeah, my throat is killing me, so I'm gonna go, I am gonna go get some food and sleep. But anyway, thank y'all for being here. I very much appreciate y'all's presence here in the chat, whether you were talking with me or lurking, whether you subscribed or gifted a sub or gave bits, all that good stuff. I appreciate each and every one of you. So thank you to Wolf for modding. Thank you to the mods. Thank you to the viewers. Thank you to my mom. I hope you'll have a good night, and I'll be back tomorrow at 9:30 p.m. Central Time with some more Ace Attorney Chronicles. We'll continue this tomorrow evening. There's my social media, most active on Twitter and YouTube, and we have a Discord if you'd like to join it. But either way, I hope you'll have a great night, and I will see you all next time.